campaign, recording 41 goals and 59 assists. He retired in 1985, and he was elected into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1989. Daryl Sittler, a 10-point night, February 7th, 1976, for the Maple Leafs against Boston. For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
This is the NBA on SiriusXM.
Full steam out of the backcourt, all the way to the rim for a thunderous slam.
Every game, all season long, through the NBA Finals.
Drives, he jump stops, he's off balance, he put it up and in. I don't know how.
Your home for hoops is SiriusXM Radio. Now, let's take you courtside for the game.
He really helps the team. He was doing a good job of being disruptive, and his length is bothering whoever he's guarding. He was really good rebounding the ball. He's a player that's also able to push it in transitions, how he's going to contribute defensively, how he's going to be able to run in transition and score, how he's going to find his opportunities with cuts, threes and all of that. He's working really hard, and he's going to make those shots, I have no doubt, but those are non-negotiables that he needs to bring every single night to the team.
It felt great. I felt like I had opportunity. Every time my name gets called, go in there, play the best version of myself, just play hard, things will come to me. So I feel like I did a great job with that tonight.
The voices of Raptors head coach Darko Rajakovic and also youngster Jonathan Mobo, the rookie who had a fantastic performance last night for the Toronto Raptors in their victory over the Philadelphia 76ers as the Raptors hit the road to play on the second night of the back-to-back in Minnesota against the Timberwolves. Welcome to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank. This is how we fan. Tangerine, official bank of the Toronto Raptors. Eric Smith and Paul Jones with you, getting set for tip-off between the Wolves and Raptors, and another early season test for Toronto, Jonesy, but they certainly looked good last night. They kind of mucked it up a little bit. They got a little grimy, a lot of fouls, a lot of free throws, 3 guys fouling out for Toronto, but at the end of the day, a team that secured a victory and managed to keep Philadelphia at bay, especially in the second half, and now 1-1 on the season.
Well, you win. You sometimes take more from losses than you do wins. The win was great, but there's still some things that need to be taken from it. 27 turnovers in 2 games. The Raptors
I don't want to hear the number.
46 turnovers.
I just said I don't want to hear the number.
Sorry. You're hearing it. That's something that they need to improve on. But their defense was superior in the game against Philadelphia last night, holding the Sixers to under 39%. And that was not a fluke. That was the entire game. Tyrese Maxey, as good as he was with 24 points, it took him 23 shots. And you heard Darko talking about Mobo. I thought he was great. I thought Jamison Battle, the guy that we talked to in the postgame, was very good. The way he played, shot the ball well. 4 of 5, 12 points. Again, the two-headed monster at the point, 19 points. This is from Shed and Davion Mitchell. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. That's a good game from those 2 guys.
Yep.
And you don't lose anything defensively with them on the court. So they're holding up their end. And Scotty Barnes, the bounce back, right? We talked about it last night on the broadcast. After a game where he scored less than 10 points, he's come back with an average of 24, 8, and 7 on 52%. Well, last night, 27, 5, and 4 on 8 of 11 from the floor. Never mind, I don't want to encourage games of less than 10 points, but I would like to see those numbers consistently from Scotty. Let's see how they travel on the back-to-back. A good team, a Western Conference finalist. Let's see how they travel and how they hold up in a tough environment as it's the home opener for Minnesota.
One of the other things that stood out about last night, Jones, and you touched on some of the numbers, and you mentioned rebounding with individual guys. What about rebounding as a team when you look across the board? Not one player was in double figures in rebounding, but they put together 54 rebounds as a team and out-rebounded the 76ers by plus 26, 54-28.
That 26 26 rebound edge in terms of a differential is the third largest rebounding differential in franchise history. So, we laugh about it, Eric. It's something that we have heard Pat Riley say, and we tease about it. We laugh about it. No rebounds, no rings. They're not giving out any rings on October 29th or October 26th, but you do have to rebound if you're going to win games. So give the Raptors credit for last night, and they're going to have to bring it the same way tonight.
And to Jonesy's point, just to follow up on it, folks, number 3 in franchise history last night in terms of the rebounding differential, January 11th, 2018, plus 28 on the glass against the Cleveland Cavaliers. November 21st, 2014, plus 27 against the Milwaukee Bucks, and a plus 26 last night against Philly. Third best, again, in terms of the rebounding differential in franchise history. Let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care. And from a Raptors perspective, it's essentially the same as it was last night. Unfortunately, a man still sidelined with that hip issue. RJ Barrett out. My spidey senses are tingling, though, that he is close to return. I don't know if it's going to be Monday, but I believe he is closer to returning than he is staying out of the lineup still. Something's cooking, I think, with RJ Barrett, but he's not playing tonight.
I agree, Eric, and we both watched him in the pregame last night. He looked like he was ready to go.
Yeah.
So it's probably how he reacts after a practice. I would not be surprised to see him on Monday.
And the fact that the Raptors on a back-to-back won't practice tomorrow, so a full day's rest for not only Barrett but anybody else, as the Raptors will get set for their next game on Monday at home against the Denver Nuggets. But again, it's Barrett and quickly out. Bruce Brown still sidelined. Kelly Olynyk still out. And Jacoby Walter awaiting his season debut, as the youngster has been unable to compete in anything thus far, whether it be training camp, preseason, or the regular season, as he's coming back from his shoulder issue and shoulder surgery. Before we step aside for the break, I'll let you know that the starting lineup tonight for the Raptors tonight is the same as it was last night. Davion Mitchell, Gradey Dick, Jakob Poeltl, Scotty Barnes, and Ochai Agbaji. But, Jonesy, let's get your keys to victory. Brought to you by Honda. Up your game. Lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. Jonesy, keys to victory.
Well, first key will be handling the environment. It really will. You talked about who's out. RJ Barrett, quickly, Olynyk, Jacoby Walter. You arguably have 3, maybe 4 rotation guys out of the lineup. So let's see how they handle the environment. Let's see how they handle it with a depleted lineup. Defense will be key when you look at Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, Mike Conley running that team. And then the rebounding and dealing with Rudy Gobert. He may not be an offensive threat, but he's going to be a guy that's manning the lane. He'll be changing shots, blocking shots, and rebounding. So those are some of the keys for me that I want to see the Raptors look after. The defense, the rebounding. I know you didn't want to hear the number, but you can't turn the ball over. And let's see how they handle the environment.
And Julius Randle addressing the crowd in Minnesota in the Timberwolves home opener, saying, I promise every night we will come out and compete. We'll play hard and hopefully make you proud. Let's have a great season. And the Raptors are going to try and spoil that. When we come back, we will have the tip-off of the Timberwolves and Raptors from the Target Center in Minneapolis on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank, official bank of the Toronto Raptors, on the Sportsnet Radio Network and streaming at sportsnet.ca.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick, dark mud splats, terracotta mountain roads, radiant sunsets, kaleidoscopic leaf carpets, and the boldest of adventures. Avoid autumn blues and visit your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Craig. Craig likes it warm. Craig loves 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Craig doesn't understand Fahrenheit. But Craig does like to save money when he's at work. Craig also cares about his carbon footprint. He's so thoughtful, that Craig.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. For a limited time, sign up and get up to $1,000 in bill credits and apply for up to $3,000 in rebates. Learn more at EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Experience the new modern Mexicana menu at Mucho Burrito, like pineapple pork al pastor, tender pork, pineapple salsa, and al pastor sauce with a zesty kick. Get it as a taco trio for only $9.95. Or the bold, smoky flavor of our guajillo grilled chicken in a burrito for only $11.75. Get them all in your choice of burrito bowl or taco. And save room for new churro fries, loaded nachos, and taquitos. The new menu at Mucho Burrito. Love what you eat and love Mucho. Prices may vary by location.
Monday nights are hockey nights. That's right. There's a new exclusive home for the NHL, and it's on Prime. All season long, Prime Monday Night Hockey is delivering unreal plays. That's hockey, baby! And the biggest goals. What a goal! Matthews, McDavid, Crosby, and the NHL's best are ready for Prime. So don't miss it. Prime Monday Night Hockey. It's on Monday. It's on Prime.
Hey there, it's your friends from Toyota. We see you eyeing that Tundra, already picturing yourself hauling so much firewood that your chainsaw's hiding behind the shed. It's time to stop dreaming about that new Toyota and start driving one. Lease a 2024 Tundra 4x4 Crew Max SR from $127 weekly for 40 months at 2.39% with $5,100 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith and Paul Jones with you as we get set for the tip-off between the Timberwolves and Raptors. And as I mentioned, it's the home opener for the Minnesota Timberwolves, so they're going through the entire roster right now in terms of introing players as they get to their starting five as well. So we are still a couple of moments away from tipping off and making it official, as the Raptors will hope to move to 2-1 on the season following the victory last night over the 76ers. But the intros are finally done, so we are mere moments away from getting things started. And as I mentioned, Julius Randle addressing the crowd. Jonesy, what did you make of the deal sending Cats, Karl Anthony Towns, to New York in exchange for Randle and Dante DiVincenzo?
Well, I think it was probably a money move more than anything else for Minnesota. And they were willing to take a guy that the Knicks played well without Randle. They were probably looking for a more complimentary player. And here, the thing that people don't realize is when Julius Randle was in New Orleans, Chris Finch was a coach there. And they got a lot out of him there. So Finchy, as he's called, would be, okay, I'll take Randle. I've got a good point guard in Mike Conley. I've got a young star in Anthony Edwards that, yeah, he needs the ball, but there'll be nights when he can't do it. And we've got a guy like Randle to help us out there. So I thought it was, part of me thought, well, I'm not so sure, but it might not be a bad thing for both teams. And Randle, now, they didn't want to pay Cat. They might have to pay Randle. They may not have to pay him as much.
I think it's a good assessment. I kind of, it's not fair to call it addition by subtraction by any means. That wouldn't be fair to Karl Anthony Towns, who's a heck of a talent. I just think there's more balance overall to this Minnesota roster now with Towns out, and it clearly pushes Anthony Edwards into the spotlight that much more. And I think there's a little more role definition then in terms of what Gobert and Randle do when compared to what you were getting with Karl Anthony Towns, where it was redundancy in some senses. Good redundancy because, again, he's a hell of a player. But I just like the balance of this team a little bit more. since this deal. And I think Cat could fit in quite well alongside Brunson in New York. So kind of a win-win. I think the DiVincenzo piece is maybe the one that kind of pushes it in favor of Minnesota. It's kind of like we talked so much about the Kawhi Leonard deal back in the day. Danny Green ended up being a starter as well. You got 40% of your starting lineup in one trade, and the guy that helped you win a chip as well. We are set to go in mini as Jakob Poeltl stands in against Rudy Gobert. And we are officially underway as the Raptors win the tip. Mitchell has the ball, gives it to Barnes, who brings it across center court. Scotty comes around a screen up top set by Poeltl. Got into the lane, went to give it back to Yak. It goes off Jakob's back, but it's tracked down by Gradey Dick at center court. Saved it before it got into the backcourt. And now Scotty misses a triple from the wing far side.
I'm disturbed by the first possession going that far sideways. That's something you script. It needs to be cleaner if you're Toronto.
Randall hands it off. And now it's Conley on the near side. Conley trying to work against Gradey Dick. Gets into the paint, floats one up with his right hand. Missed it in traffic. Poeltl had it, but then it was taken away from him by McDaniels. And Minnesota gets a second chance right here. Edwards on the wing near side. Up top straight away to Randall. Looks up at the shot clock. It's down to 3. Whips one into the corner to Conley. Lefty release on the 3-ball. And it goes down as the shot clock expires.
Well, you got to be close enough to touch. Make him put it on the floor with that little time on the clock. Gradey gave the veteran too much space.
3-0 Minnesota. Barnes in the paint. Stops just below the near elbow. Goes back up top. Above the arc to Mitchell. Back over to Scotty. Scotty puts it on the floor trying to go at Gobert. Gets into the paint, into the corner to Gradey, who bobbled it, and it goes out of bounds, but it looked like Barnes had a chance for a floater.
Two of them. Scotty, on 2 occasions on that possession, didn't show me the aggressiveness that I think he needs to have, especially starting the game. I know he's trying to get his teammates involved, but take what you get first.
Conley trying to weave his way into traffic, can't get there. Mitchell cuts him off. He goes over to Randall. Randall puts it on the floor, driving on the near side, kisses it off glass, and got the friendly roll. Strong take there from Julius Randle.
Jakob Poeltl forgot Julius Randle's left-handed. He had a clear lane using his left hand to the basket.
Ochai gave it to Poeltl, gives it back to Ochai into the paint, tried to drop it to Yak, but an errant pass hits the baseline, goes out of bounds, and another turnover for the Raptors, something that was a major issue in the ballgame last night.
Well, Toronto has 1 shot, 2 turnovers.
Not a great start for T.O. 2 minutes into the ballgame, down 5-0. McDaniels in the corner to Randall. Misses the triple near corner. Tracked down on the glass by Ochai. Hands it to Mitchell. Across center court. Back to Ochai. Cross court. Left to right to Gradey Dick. Open 3-ball. Rips the cords. 5-3. Minnesota leads on Toronto's first bucket.
Good job by Gradey. Good stabilizer by the young man. He has the second longest active 3-point streak by a player 21 and younger in the NBA.
Edwards to Randall. Back on the perimeter to Gobert. Gobert flicks it over to Conley. Conley left open. The Raptors kind of fell asleep on that one, and they dodged the bullet as Conley misses the 3. Across center far side comes Barnes. He's picked up by McDaniels. Over to Gradey Dick. Throws it over at the far elbow to Poeltl. Poeltl banging now with Julius Randle. They're going to call a foul on Randle. Sideline out of bounds for T.O.
Pretty easy call. Poeltl did a nice job wheeling to his strong hand from the far side. Right hand to the middle, and Randle couldn't handle him.
5-3, Minnesota leading. 3 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter as Barnes gives it to Mitchell. Coming around the perimeter, now straight away out towards center court, trying to shake free from Anthony Edwards. Now whips it over on the far wing to Gradey, back to Mitchell. Mitchell puts it on the floor, into the paint. The floater blocked by Edwards, picked up by Poeltl, flicks it up, and missed the shot just as the shot clock was expiring. Minnesota with the rebound. Down the floor, Edwards driving to the tin. Stops his dribble as he ran into Poeltl, missed the shot, and the Raptors tap it out into the hands of Barnes. Ahead to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell drops it to Gradey to the tin. Looked like he was fouled, no call. Loose ball picked up by McDaniels, and Minnesota gets another stop. Edwards to McDaniels. Down low to Randall, and coming over the back was Ochai to knock it away, but then the Raptors turn it over at midcourt, and it turns into a triple for Mike Conley. 3 turnovers for Toronto, 5-point lead for Minnesota. Just under 4 minutes gone by.
Well, three turnovers, 5 points off those turnovers.
Gradey Dick in the paint, passes over on the far sideline to Mitchell, now brings it out toward the wing, goes up top to Ochai. Good look at a 3 straight away, missed that one. That's one he's got to start making.
Yeah, listen, I got a point about the turnovers I want to make when we get a minute.
Edwards drives down Main Street, lobs it up to Gobert, who dunks it down, and the Raptors are going to take a timeout. They're down 7 and not looking great right now, shooting 1 of 6. Minnesota leading 10-3.
Listen, I understand there's going to be turnovers when you try to play fast, but you've got to normalize looking after the ball at a high speed, or else it's just going to be catastrophic the entire season.
The Raptors again trailing 10-3. We'll be back with more in a couple of moments. You're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation?
What's up, Raptors fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this Toronto Raptors basketball game. Come on, We the North. Hit that like button down below. And if you're a fan of the other team too, hit the like button. It brings more basketball fans here into the chat to hang out with us and have a good time during this one. So let's get back to the basketball. Don't forget to share the link out as well in the commercial breaks. Get on over to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the social boards, however you do it, and send this link out, and let's get more fans here in the chat cheering on our Raptors. Let's go, baby. Hit that basketball and slam it home. Let's go, Raptors.
To radio, but when our hero runs, she sounds like this. If you ran at the speed of light, you'd sound funny too. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Experience amazing now at Don Valley North Lexus. Right now, lease the 2024 IS 300 Premium Package from just $518 per month for 28 months at 2.9%. Or choose from Canada's largest selection of Lexus demonstrators with offers you won't want to miss. Now is the time, and Don Valley North Lexus is the place. See website for details. Expect excellence.
At Don Valley North, Don Valley North for Lexus.
A proud member of Wayne's Auto Group.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care. Raptors trailing 10-3, 7:47 to go in the frame, and not a great start for Toronto, shooting 1 of 6, 16.7%. 3 turnovers, being out-rebounded 5-4. The only bucket of the game for the Raptors right now, a 3-ball from Gradey Dick on the other side. A couple of triples from Mike Conley. He's the leading scorer with 6. We get set to resume action in Minnesota, the home opener for the Timberwolves, as Minnesota comes into action at 1-1, just like the Raptors, fresh off a victory 2 nights ago against the Sacramento Kings, who will be in Toronto a week from today when DeMar DeRozan returns to TO with the Kings, and Vince Carter's jersey is going to be sent up to the rafters.
Isn't that ironic that DeMar is in the house with Vince's jersey being retired?
Barnes lobs it up to Pirtle in the lane. Caught it, came down, tried to reverse lay it, and missed it. And Minnesota grabs the rebound. Toronto now 1 of 7. Randall for the Wolves drops it on the far wing to Conley. Back over on the far sideline to Edwards. Contested jumper doesn't matter. Triple is good. The Timberwolves lead by 10.
Toronto's got to stop the bleeding. 1 of 7, 3 turnovers.
Barnes toward the far elbow, missed the jumper. Looked like he kind of short-armed it when he got midair. And Toronto scrambles back defensively, down double figures, again a 10-point lead. Edwards, right to left, over to Randall. 3-ball is good for Julius Randle, and they're shooting at a clip right now that's 4 of 6, 66%. Now Pirtle just got blocked on the other end, and we're going the other way with Randall running in the open court. Loses the handle, though, picked up by Ochai. Unforced turnover. Here comes Abaji. He's fouled off glass and in. It's a bucket and 1, and maybe that will help ignite Toronto as they trail 16-5.
Well, good job by Ochai jumping on the loose ball. Randall having difficulties in the open court. And a good take by Ochai, getting the contact against Anthony Edwards. Didn't take it square, good push. That's a chance to get fast break points in the right way off your defense.
That ends a 14-0 run for the Timberwolves. Check that, 12-0. Jonesy, what do I say every broadcast? Me and math, we don't mix. Edwards drives, fouled, and Anthony Edwards is going to head to the free throw line. One of the great young stars in the game. There is some chatter about him being the face of the league. He's not quite there yet, and I'm not saying that in a disparaging way. He's one of the faces, but if we're looking at somebody, Jonesy, post-LeBron, at some point James is stepping away. I don't know when. I think that there are a number of young players in this game that you could consider the potential face. Edwards is certainly one of them, but right up there as well, clearly Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and probably a handful of others as well.
Yeah, the charisma.
Absolutely.
The riz, as kids say about Anthony Edwards or within him, is something that makes him, that magnetic personality. And you look at the documentary about the starting five. His storyline there is really something to watch, and it's a lot of fun. And he could be a guy that you look at as the face of the league. He's certainly going to put some headlines out there and say some things that will be good sound bites.
We're going to step aside for a quick break with the Raptors trailing 17-5, 6:26 to go in the first quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Meet Seeker, Canada's new and free app for your ears.
Writer of many #1 hits, Daryl Hall, welcome to the show.
$35,750 is yours!
That's fourth place. You're unbelievable.
Discover live radio, podcasts, news, and sports you love.
SEEKR. Seeker.
Download the free app from the App Store or Google Play. Seeker. Seek your sounds.
Seeker.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure. With Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency, I'm free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 6:26 to go in the opening quarter, and Minnesota has jumped on Toronto early and often in this ball game. It's 17-5. Timberwolves leading the Raptors. Minnesota shooting 60% from the floor on 6 of 10 shooting, but Jonesy, 4 of those 6 have come from distance. The Timberwolves shooting 4 of 6 from long range, including 2 from Mike Conley, and certainly not the way you want to start on the second night of a back-to-back.
No. And Minnesota's really firing threes this year. They've averaged 45.5 in their first 2 games. They had 50 on Thursday against the Kings, and it's the most they've had in a game since February.
Attempts, folks, not makes.
Yeah, no, not makes. Then we're breaking the scoreboard if that's happening. But it's the way the league's going these days. I don't always agree, but that's the way the league's going.
Edwards misses the free throw. So the lead stays at 17-5, 12-point advantage. Raptors have made a couple of changes with Shed and Boucher coming into the ballgame as Gradey Dick gets a jumper to go, rim glass and in. It's the second bucket of the game for Gradey.
Grady's been aggressive, and I like that.
Mitchell and Barnes sitting down with Shed and Boucher coming in. Dante DiVincenzo has entered for the Timberwolves as well. He's got the ball right now, far sideline, and just ripped another triple for the Timberwolves. It's 20-7. Shed moving left to right, stops straight away. On a switch, he's picked up by Randall out on the perimeter. Pirtle trying to set a screen. Shed still has the ball. Now goes backdoor on the baseline to Boucher, and coming over to meet him was McDaniels, and a big stuff for McDaniels. It'll be Raptor ball with 7 on the shot clock.
McDaniels was second team all defense last year, so You saw him trail. We saw him trail Boucher across the lane, but recover quick enough and well enough to block that shot.
Shed, great inbound on the cut to Ochai, straight down Main Street, right under the tin. He lays it in. It's 20-9.
Really nice cut by Ochai as he wheeled around a screen at the elbow.
DiVincenzo gets into the paint, leans in, misses the shot, hit off back rim. He wanted a call, didn't get it. And here come the Raptors. Shed across center, far corner, Gradey Dick. Gradey through the paint, got a step on Naz Reid, who has checked in. Raptors working around the perimeter to Boucher, driving, fouled, and I believe that's going to be free throws for Chris Boucher.
Well, he did a good job there. Poor closeout by Minnesota, allowing him to get to the middle on his strong hand. And Boucher took every advantage of what was presented to him.
So Chris Boucher steps to the stripe. Boucher, first one up, and rattles and pops out for Chris Boucher. He got a lot of love from his coach last night. He said a guy that maybe didn't fill up the stat sheet, but played hard and was a major factor in the win over the Sixers.
You and I pointed it out late in the fourth quarter. He made 2 defensive plays. One resulted in a block. The other one was just positioning, forcing a miss that allowed the Raptors to get out.
Boucher missed both free throws. Raptors got the offensive rebound but couldn't take advantage.
Wow.
As Gradey Dick just missed a triple back the other way. Edwards into the paint, gets the bucket. A soft floater goes. He ends up on his back. Didn't get the call, so the Raptors might have dodged one there.
Well, Fernando got held at the other end with no call, so I guess it's even Steven.
Fernando in for Pirtle. Sidestep triple. Gradey Dick knocks it down, and Grady's got 8 in the opening frame.
Gradey playing with a lot of confidence right now. And those are big shots. When you're down big, you need somebody to make some shots to keep you in games. So those are big shots by Gradey.
22-12. Raptors down 10. Anthony Edwards near side missed the triple, barely grazed iron. Raptors have the rebound, and here they come. Ochai across center. They're playing 5-on-4, and Ochai misses an air ball. He kind of floated up a layup attempt, and man.
He got caught. He was going to go glass and then decided to go straight and threw it right over the top of the rim.
Naz Reid misses a triple far corner. Raptors with the rebound, so they come away unscathed after that errant shot from Ochai. Gradey, deep three, far wing, missed that one, and nobody down low for Toronto. Naz Reid with the rebound. Hands it off to Randall across center, running the far lane. Toward the far side, a little beer league swat from behind. Gradey knocks it away, and that will force Minnesota to inbound with 17 on the shot clock. Couple more changes coming for, I believe, Minnesota right here, and Toronto. Yes, indeed. As Battle is going to check in for the first time. Jamison Battle, who played extremely well last night for the Raptors, joined us on our post-game show as well, as the rookie was one of many factors in that ball game against Philly. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the Canadian, comes into the game as well for Minnesota. With the Timberwolves leading by 10, 3:39 to go. Edwards elevates for a 3-ball. Missed the shot, but we're going to have, what, a reach on the Raptors?
I think it might have been Abaji trying to get over the screen.
Toronto was trying to see if it was maybe a moving screen where they wanted to go the other way, but instead it's a fresh 14 for Minnesota. They will do it again, inbounding from the side. DiVincenzo to Gobert. Hands it off now to Alexander-Walker. To DiVincenzo straight away. Up fake, got into the paint, and he's fouled. And I think it might be going on Jamal Shed. 3:31 to go. Foul is on Shed. That will be his first. Minnesota leading 22-12. Raptors in the white uniform tonight, trimmed with red. Minnesota in the navy blue as they get it into Gobert, trying to spin away from Fernando. Went to flick it over to Reid, and good hands there by Boucher. Ball ends up in the hands, though, of Edwards. Elevates for a triple, left it short off the front of the rim, tracked down by Battle, and the Raptors secure the rebound. Ochai weaves through traffic, running floater. No, it's actually floated up on a pass to Fernando, but it's going to be wiped out. The alley-oop no good, as an offensive foul on the charge is called against Ochai Agbaji.
And that's the thing about this day and age of the NBA, where you drive in and make the pass when you're airborne. Nickeil Alexander-Walker doing a good job there. That's one where I know that was a pass and it was intended to be a pass the whole time, but maybe you still 2-foot jump stop and push it up there like a shot. At least you're under control.
DiVincenzo across center, gives it up to Reed. Reed's over on the far wing. Fernando got a piece of the ball for a moment, knocked it away from Reed. Now DiVincenzo has it again on the near side. Cross court, left to right, over to Reed. Reed's trying to go at Fernando, drives, and Fernando got the left hand out there. Got the block, and the ball goes off Reed, out of bounds on the baseline. It's Toronto ball.
Murat Kogut, the official right there. And nice lateral foot movement by Bruno Fernando.
22-12. Minnesota leading as Barnes comes back into the ball game, and a soft floater goes from about 10-12 feet for Scotty. Raptors have it down to single digits, and now DiVincenzo just lost the handle. Raptors pick it up, come the other way. Trailing by 8. A cross-court pass left to right. Nice find. Boucher couldn't hit the 3, though, and Edwards has the rebound for Minnesota. Battle was right there, but Edwards took it away. Stops at the free throw line. Fires it into the corner to Alexander Walker, to DiVincenzo, and he's fouled by Shed as he put it on the floor trying to go to the tin. And that will be, for the Raptors, their 4th team foul. And we're not under 2 minutes, so it'll be sideline out of bounds for Minnesota.
Toronto's kind of recovered a little bit, got their footing here. Would have been nice to see the 3 by Boucher go down in the corner. Was a good look.
DiVincenzo to Alexander Walker on the near side. Near elbow extended, now back over to Gobert. Gobert on the perimeter, went to give it to DiVincenzo. Knocked away by Boucher into the backcourt. Tracked down by DiVincenzo. Shot clock is down to 3. DiVincenzo, deep triple, and he knocks it down.
You know that. He's going to shoot that. Clock was running down. You got to push up. You could see Darko. We could see Darko saying, get up on him.
32 feet. The official one from DiVincenzo.
Darko was on the sideline saying to Boucher, great job to knock it into the backcourt, but get up on that guy.
Tough break for the Raptors as they had cut it down to 8. Now DiVincenzo pushes it up to 11. Scotty Barnes tried to answer back with a 3-ball and missed. So now Minnesota gets the ball back immediately and a chance to push the lead to 13 or 14. Could be a big swing right here for Minnesota as Joe Ingles comes into the ball game. Ingles has it right now to Gobert. Back to Ingles. Ingles got a step on Boucher, gets into the paint, stops on a dime, goes back out to Reed. Reed covered by Barnes, fires back out on the near wing to DiVincenzo. Fires a 3-ball. That one was contested, missed it. Ingles has it to Gobert, coming through the paint, scoops it up with the left hand and gets it to go. The lead indeed is 13.
Well, they did a nice job. Fernando did a nice job of boxing out Gobert, but nobody went and got the ball. And Ingles walked in there and caught a flat-footed rebound.
Shed to Barnes. Barnes drops it to Fernando. He's met by Gobert. Looked like contact. No call. And then they call Fernando on a travel.
Yeah.
Did Gobert not get a piece? I thought he did.
It went straight up on the verticality, and Fernando caught the ball without it touching any other player of the rim. So it was a good call by the official, but
I thought Gobert got it, Jonesy.
When you see a shot blocker like that, you got to go into him. You got to get right into him.
And Gobert flushes one down on an alley-oop on the other end with a minute to go. Minnesota has taken their largest lead of the game at 15.
Well, a 7-0 run just after the Raptors had cut it down and had a chance to cut it to 5 with Boucher missing the 3.
Shed to Barnes. Barnes, another whipping cross-court pass to Boucher in the near corner, knocked away by Reed as Boucher tried to put it on the floor. It'll be Toronto ball with 10 on the shot clock. 29-14. Raptors shooting under 29%. Minnesota sitting at 52%. A balanced attack from the Timberwolves. Nobody more than 6 points, but everybody filling it up right now as Shed is bumped by Gobert on the near sideline. And that will be the first foul of the game for Rudy Gobert. 43.3 seconds to play. First foul in the last 2 minutes for Minnesota, as Toronto will inbound from the side. Shed into Barnes. And away from the ball, we've got a foul coming in on Minnesota. I think it's going on Naz Reid. No, Joe Ingles. Either way, second foul in the last 2 minutes. It's the second foul in the last 10 seconds. Heck, the second foul in the last 3 seconds. So Jamison Battle gets a chance to go to the free throw line. And the first one is up and clean for Battle. 29-15. Toronto had it down to 8. And Minnesota, in a hurry, built it up to 15. Now sits at 14 as Battle gets one more free throw. That one up and clean as well as Battle takes care of business, and the Raptors get back defensively, down 29-16 in this opening frame. Alexander Walker hands it off to DiVincenzo. He's now at the logo at center. Gives it back to Nikhil, who gives it back to DiVincenzo. Deep triple on the wing near side, goes down. Not quite as deep as the 32-footer, but a couple of feet behind the line. And yet again, Toronto didn't get up on him, and he knocks down a 27-footer.
You've just got to know your personnel. We talk about it. KYP, that's his thing. He's become one of the deadly three-point shooters in the NBA.
Raptors down 16. Barnes might have just got away with a carry. Now he's double-teamed, splits to the defenders late in the clock, fires a shot, and gets it to go with 5.5 seconds remaining in the quarter. That was desperation.
Oh, yeah. Had disaster written all over it, but they were able to rescue.
Alexander Walker down the floor, lost the handle for a moment, tried to find Ingles, but Joe Ingles couldn't get it off before the end of the frame, and that will do it. But a solid start for Minnesota, shooting 54.5% and leading the Raptors by 14.
Tough opening quarter for Toronto. The back-to-back, you need to hang close. Wasn't great. Down 14 and giving up a lot of good-looking threes to Minnesota.
32-18. The Timberwolves on top of the Raptors. Second quarter action will come next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Desjardins, we speak business.
Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, the basketball fan that's hanging out with us tonight for the Raptors game. It's time for you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto Raptors game this season, as well as tons of other sports. Every Toronto team is live here on TSI. Thank you for helping us create this amazing Toronto sports fan club where we can bring sports to the world and make a real world difference while we're doing it. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Let's go, Raptors. We the North. We the North. Stand up, baby. It's time to get loud, Canada. Cheer on those Raptors.
The migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Got PC Optimum points? Claire does, and shops the bonus redemption event at Shoppers Drug Mart to get more free stuff for her points.
If I redeem 100,000 points, I'll get $140 off. That's an extra $40 in value. I see a treat in my future.
Awesome, Claire. The bonus redemption event runs October 25th to 30th, in-store and online. Exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart. It's your chance to get more free stuff for your points. And free feels good. Restrictions apply.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Second quarter about to start, and Minnesota heads into the frame leading 32-18. And Jonesy, in that first quarter, Anthony Edwards with a couple of field goals, 2 of 5, 6 points in the ballgame for Edwards. And Edwards has become the 5th youngest player in NBA history to reach 2,500 field goals made.
Gets younger and younger, eh? And the way the game is going too, you can just fire it up. Nobody's sitting you down.
DiVincenzo, another 3-ball, this time from the near sideline. Couldn't knock that one down. He's 3 of 5 from distance, 9 points in 7 minutes off the bench. Raptors down 14, their first touch of the second quarter as Barnes goes at DiVincenzo. Nice pass in traffic to Battle, who lays it in.
Scotty's plan seems to be to get his teammates involved. Sometimes you have to be aggressive yourself and draw some attention, and then you can get your guys involved.
Gobert in the paint, bobbled it for a moment, got it back, and now gives it to DiVincenzo on the perimeter. Driving into the paint, got by Barnes, ran into Mobo, missed the shot, and then the loose ball is knocked around off the hands of the Timberwolves, and we're going back the other way. Raptor ball.
Great defense by Mobo. We were on the referee's call about verticality. If you get a chance, we're on the radio, you can't see it, but if you get a chance, take a look at that. Mobo jumping straight up, arms not bending or piking at the waist at all, and he forced that miss by DiVincenzo.
Now as the Raptors bring it across center, We've got a hold being called against Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Got a little too handsy with Davion Mitchell. So a foul on Nickeil. Sideline out of bounds for the Raptors as they get it in. Mitchell to Battle. Cross-court over the wing to Mobo. Far side now it's Boucher. Driving on Reed into the paint. Met by 3 players. Still took the shot. And a wild one missed. DiVincenzo to Alexander-Walker. Bumped by Mitchell. No call. Gives it to Conley. Back over to Alexander-Walker. Got a step on Boucher. Goes down Main Street. Went for a left-hand flush. Boucher got a piece, but they're going to call a foul on Chris. Not a clean block, and send Nickeil Alexander-Walker to the free throw line.
Well, that's the new NBA. Straight line drive from the top of the lane, and no help. Why? Because everybody's guarding people out on the perimeter and afraid to leave for a drive and kick. So, as Darko has stressed in training camp, and a lot of people continue to stress around the NBA, you got to guard a guy for 2 dribbles and keep him in front of you, or else you're going to be in big trouble.
32-20 as Nickeil Alexander-Walker misses the first free throw. He's scoreless in 5 minutes off the bench. DJ Carton now checking in for the Raptors. So it's Battle, Mobo, Carton, Mitchell, and Barnes. Gobert, Conley, DiVincenzo, Reed, and Alexander-Walker for Minnesota. Second free throw good for Nickeil. 33-20. Minnesota by 13. Their largest lead was 16. Barnes above the far elbow, covered by Reed. Trying to lean in on Naz Reid right now as he now fires a pass to Mobo. Drives it along the baseline, tried to drop it in traffic to a cutting Battle.
Wow.
And too much traffic there. That was a tough look.
Yeah, high-risk pass. I'd rather see him take the reverse layup.
Gobert down low, blocked near side. Cut off by Battle to a cutting DiVincenzo in traffic. Fouled by Mobo. And DiVincenzo is going to the free throw line. Knocked over a camera person there on the baseline and helped that person back up. And now he'll head to the stripe for 2.
The Raptors are going to have to manage playing unselfishly against risking turnovers. Mobo had what might have been a difficult reverse layup, but at least it would have been a shot, get a chance for a rebound. Instead, a high-risk pass. And I know he's trying to share the ball and do the right thing, but got to be careful playing the game versus trying to play a system.
Lead back up to 15 now. Again, 16 was the highest. 35-20. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. As Barnes gets into the lane, and he got caught with an extra step. That's a travel on Barnes. And a 8th turnover for the Raptors as we give it back to Minnesota. And a chance for them to potentially grab their largest lead of the game. Mike Conley will bring it up across center. Picked up by the youngster DJ Carton. Conley over to Reed. Naz Reid through the paint. Back out on the perimeter to Conley. Conley to DiVincenzo on the wing near side. Davion Mitchell on his hip. As now DiVincenzo tried to drive, cut off by Mitchell. Now on the baseline, cut off again. Gobert picks up the loose ball. It's knocked away by Mobo. Picked up by the Raptors down the floor. Mobo from Barnes missed the shot, but followed his miss and guides it into the tin for a tough bucket.
That's fast break basketball. Nice job by Mobo. He did a great job on the defensive end. So did Davion Mitchell, cutting off potential drive by DiVincenzo.
Naz Reid, 3-ball wing far side, no good. High for the rebound. Battle secures it for Toronto. To Mitchell across center. Davion Mitchell, left-handed pass, cross-court over to Barnes. Barnes, step back, contested, deep one from 21 feet, air. 35-22, 3 minutes gone by, second quarter. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Got a step on Battle, got into the paint, left hand scoop shot, no good, cleaned up in traffic by Naz Reid, who turns and fires a soft one-hand floater into the bucket from about 4 feet. Davion Mitchell, 3-ball straight away, rattled halfway down, popped out, no good, and the Raptors scramble back defensively, trailing 37-22. Toronto with only 22 points, Jonesy. We're almost 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Gobert tracks down an offensive rebound on the baseline. Minnesota whips it around the perimeter, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker with a 3 pushes the lead to 18, largest of the game.
Offensive rebounding, floor disjointed, difficulty matching up. and finding people. Raptors couldn't catch up to the ball, and they give up the open three.
40-22, Minnesota on top of Toronto with 8:25 to go in the second quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
It's time to face your fears. Are you brave enough? Screamers! Toronto's original haunted attraction awaits you. Don't be scared. Confront all 7 haunted mazes, and if you survive the gauntlet, capture your terrified expression at our bone-chilling photo ops. Book your tickets at screamers.ca. Never go alone.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590.
The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Second quarter is brought to you by Enbridge Sustain with a smart flow heating and cooling system. It's always thinking about you. You're the real MVP. Jones, you're just noting that it might be a little cool for us right now, but certainly the Raptors cool. Shooting only 9 of 27, 33%. Meanwhile, that heating system is working well for the Timberwolves, especially from distance. 8 of 16 in the ballgame, 50% from three-point range, and they are leading Toronto now by 18 points, 40-22, with, again, 8:25 to go here in the first half.
Again, I'm going to keep watching the field goal attempts. And again, on a night when Toronto has 7 turnovers, giving up 9 points, the Timberwolves have more field goal attempts than the Raptors.
DJ Carton on the near side, bobbled the ball, lost it, kicked it into the hands of Conley, turned it over, and then as Minnesota tries to come up the floor, they turn it right back over as Carton gives it to Mobo, who misses the alley-oop, and the Raptors can't take advantage. Minnesota with the rebound. A golden opportunity to get 2 right there, and the Raptors come up empty, shooting just 32% for the game. Conley to Edwards. Edwards around a screen set by Gobert. Driving on the near side, goes into Pirtle, lost the handle, gets it back on the baseline, and it's going to be off Pirtle, who knocked it away a second time. Minnesota will inbound with 5 on the shot clock. Edwards lobs it in. Gets it to Randall at the free throw line. Jumper no good. Rebound to Mobo. And he'll bring it up across center himself. Mobo cut off as he kind of got halfway down Main Street.
I thought he had a lane. He was stopped at the second marker.
Now Mitchell tries to probe his way through the lane, and a beautiful over-the-shoulder pass to a cutting Jakob Poeltl.
Well, great job on the dribble penetration by Mitchell. Rudy Gobert turned his back. Poeltl relocated, and as you said, a clothesline of a pass by Davion Mitchell.
Mobo knocks away the ball from Randall. Randall thought he was fouled as he's staring down the official right now saying, come on, he came over my back. Daniel Scott says no. I think it was fine. It was clean as the ball goes into the backcourt. And Minnesota forced to inbound and now bring it back across center. Mike Conley dipping behind Gobert on the near side, left open. And the Raptors dodge that bullet as Conley misses the jumper. DJ Carton just had his pocket picked from behind, though. Nobody saw Conley coming from the backcourt.
Carton's got to be aware, and somebody's got to tell him.
Alexander Walker out to Randall on the wing near side. Puts it on the floor, gets by. Jakob Poeltl drives to the tin and misses the shot as it rolls off the rim. Tough break there for Julius Randle. He's 2 for 5 in the ball game. In his home debut, he's got 4 boards and a couple of assists to go with his 5 points. Raptors trailing 40-24 as Gradey Dick's going to come back into the ballgame. Jamison Battle will sit down. We'll clean up the lineups for you in a couple of moments on both sides as we approach the midway point of quarter number 2, with the Raptors still sitting below 25 points for the game. 40-24, Minnesota leading. It's Mobo, Carton, Mitchell, Pirtle, and Dick. Ingles, Edwards, Gobert, Randles, and McDaniels for Minnesota. As Pirtle just got blocked trying to drive to the tin. It's saved. No, it isn't. It looked like Davion Mitchell was going to get it on the sideline, but he actually stepped on that line, falling into Gucci Row, and it'll be a turnover for the Raptors, giving it to Minnesota, and a chance for them to push their lead back up to 18 or more.
Minnesota, a pretty good defensive team, and Pirtle had them all collapse on him.
Randle got a step on Mobo in the lane, got the ball stripped away from him, and it's picked up by Mobo. See if the Raptors can take advantage here. Carton down the floor, and an awkward-looking but effective finish for Carton, who was hit midair. That's why it was awkward, as he got it into the tin with his left hand and managed to stay on his feet as he came down, and it's an and-one opportunity for DJ Carton.
Mobo's going to get more time if he keeps playing this kind of defense. He was good last night against Philadelphia. He's been good tonight as well. That's going to get him on the floor, and he'll stay on the floor if he can keep making shots.
Can I give you a comparison that I thought of, Jonesy, and you can tell me if I'm way off or if I'm dead on or if I'm at least kind of in the general ballpark? A raw player who was energetic and who got more time because of his energy and because of his effectiveness, and I think he was maybe catching people by surprise, and then he wasn't because he became a very good piece and a key cog for the Raptors. Keon Clark.
Yeah.
Fair?
That's a good comparison. Guy that, nobody expected much of, or you didn't know, like an unknown, and it works out in your favor.
6:06 to go, second quarter. We'll step aside for the break with the Raptors down 40-27. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win.
What's up, Raptors fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this Toronto Raptors basketball game. Come on, We the North, hit that like button down below. And if you're a fan of the other team too, hit the like button. It brings more basketball fans here into the chat to hang out with us and have a good time during this one. So let's get back to the basketball. Don't forget to share the link out as well in the commercial breaks. Get on over to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the social boards, however you do it, and send this link out, and let's get more fans here in the chat cheering on our Raptors. Let's go, baby. Hit that basketball and slam it home. Let's go, Raptors.
Conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
Toys R Us Canada celebrates our 2024 top toy list with weekend deals you've got to get. October 25th to 28th, save up to 50% on select top toys. Get your game on with 50% off all Hasbro games and many more in-store only. Check weekly top toy deals at toysrus.ca.
Have you heard of anything more chilling than frozen beef? Until November 3rd, get an always fresh, never frozen Dave single from Wendy's for only $4. Nothing scary about that. Taxes extra at participating Wendy's until November 3rd. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 6:06 to go in the first half. Raptors trailing 40-27. Minnesota, Jonesy, has dipped down to 42% from the floor. They only have 3 more field goal makes than the Raptors right now, but they've outscored Toronto by 18 on the perimeter, 8-2 in terms of three-point makes.
Well, three-point shooting. I mean, it's a classic case of trading threes for twos, and I mean, they're 8 of 16 from three. 8 of their 14 field goals have had an extra point. So, and that doesn't take in the free throws, and that's the way the game has gone these days. They only have, like you said, 3 more field goals, but a whole bunch more points because of the extra tack on.
Minnesota with a 13-point lead. They've got the ball coming out of the timeout as they get it across center. Randle has it now above the far elbow, governed by Ochai. Randall into the paint, goes into the near corner to Ingles, back to Randall. Randall now at the near elbow, turning to his right, coming to his left, and I think he walked. Yes, he did. He dragged that pivot foot as he tried to make his way past Ochai and Pirtle and was unable to do so. Turn it over, give it to Toronto, and a chance to put a little bit more of a dent as the Raptors try to scrape their way back into this game before halftime. DJ Carton driving on the near side, goes into the near corner, he was on the far side, to Mitchell to Gradey Dick. Gradey Dick down on the left block, turns, fires. Bucket is good for Gradey, up to 10 points in the game.
Grady's showing me something. Every game so far, all 3 games this year, and we saw it in the preseason, very aggressive, playing at a speed that I didn't think he was comfortable at last year. But over the summer, he seems to have gained a comfort level with it.
Edwards trying to work on Ochai. Sidestep, 3-ball, rips the cords. That looked pretty.
It's a move that you work on in the gym all summer, and boy, Anthony Edwards got it down.
Looks like they're calling it a deep 2 as the toe might have just got over the line, and Toronto comes right back down the floor, driving on the far side with a left-hand finish. Ochai Agbaji. Raptors shooting 50% this quarter and trying to, again, punch their way back into this game. They trail by 11, 42-31. Ingles to Edwards near side. Comes around a Gobert screen, turns, fires straight away, bucket. Look out. He has looked real clean on his last 2.
Well, he is a very good shooter, and the screen was just enough to give him maybe a half a body width of freedom.
And that one was a 3-ball for Edwards, so it's a 14-point lead as Dick comes back the other way for Toronto and goes high off glass and in. As he's falling to the floor, he's up to 12.
Well, what I like is Grady's not just shooting jump shots. He's putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket, making plays.
Ingles into the paint, backdoor cut. Randall dunks it down. The Raptors didn't see him coming, and that was an easy deuce.
Agbaji was guarding him in the corner, turned his head, and all of a sudden he was gone.
Gradey drives baseline, jackknife pass out to the perimeter, and as the Raptors work it around to Ochai on the near sideline, they call him for a walk. They say he got the feet shuffling before he put the ball on the floor. Jonesy, Gradey told me at training camp, I was doing a quick little interview with him for Sportsnet, and I asked him straight up if he kind of still, through college now into the pros and getting into his second year, if he fights that stigma of being, quote, just a shooter. And these were his words, not mine. He says, yeah, you know what? People look at me and they say, he's a white guy, he just shoots. And he wants to prove that he's got more athleticism, that he can do more than just stand on the perimeter and shoot.
He's doing that now, and he has to be if he's going to be a bona fide player in the league.
Raptors just got a stop on Randall and then now turn it over in the backcourt as DJ Carton, with minimal pressure, just loses the handle and it dribbles off his legs out of bounds. The Raptors with 11 first-half turnovers.
You just can't do that. It just can't happen like that.
Especially when you're a young kid trying to earn some more playing time. Reed drives on the near side.
I mean, the turnovers mount. You get 2, this guy gets 2, another guy gets 2, another guy gets 1. Pretty soon you got like 7, 8 turnovers on the team because people aren't valuing the basketball.
Reed fouled. And it was Scotty Barnes who took that one. Barnes has been pretty quiet tonight. 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist as Naz Reid knocks down the first free throw. And it pushes the Minnesota lead back to 15. It looked like the Raptors were trying to put something together again. I mentioned shooting 50%. Minnesota was shooting 25%. Raptors had pared that 18-point lead down to 11, and now all of a sudden it's back up to 15. Could be 16 here in a second, and it is, as Naz Reid knocks down the second free throw. 49-33. A very quiet offensive half of the Raptors with just 33 points with just over 3 minutes to go until the break. Gradey, a tough pass into traffic to Pirtle with a great catch and finish, and the bucket is good.
Yeah, good job. Good inside out. 4 around 1 for Toronto. 4 out, 1 in.
Ingles over to Edwards. Edwards contested 3 near wing. Looked like Mitchell might have got a piece of that one, and the Raptors grab the rebound, and down the floor comes Ochai, and it's going to be a block on Joe Ingles. He didn't give Ochai much space to land, and Ochai came crashing into Ingles, and now he's down on the floor in a lot of pain, holding onto his right knee.
Well,
in real time, I couldn't see if they went knee to knee, Jonesy, but Ochai's feeling it right now.
You've got to give the player a step if you're not in his sight line.
Ochai is now up and trying to walk it off, but he's definitely got a pretty significant limp going.
Well, it looked like Darko was signaling it was a knee-to-knee hit, and it was with him and Ingles as we get a look at the replay.
So we'll step aside for a break. I believe there's a review going on right now as well. So we will clean this up when we come back with 2:50 to go until half. It's 49-35. Minnesota leading on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. We were just having a quick chat there in the commercial break about what happened in that sequence of plays, because it was a late challenge thrown by Minnesota as the green light special was issued by Coach Finch, and a very quick review says, no, that call stands.
Well, it was easy. I mean, Ochai was on the run, and he needs a step, and he didn't get it. And luckily for him, he wasn't hurt badly. He's still in the game.
Barnes drives, lays it up and in off glass and in for Scotty as Barnes gets his third field goal of the game, up to 6 points, and the Raptors trail by 12.
The Raptors kind of hanging around. They need to look after the ball and get a few more stops.
Edwards into the paint, drops it off the read down near the right block. Blocked from behind by Pirtle. Great job there to converge on the ball. Raptors down the floor. Shed sees a seam, gets into the paint, turns, whips, fires back out. Near sideline, Gradey three-ball, grazed the iron. Nobody underneath for
Off
Toronto.
balance. Grady was off balance. Didn't have his feet under him on that one.
Gradey tonight, 5 of 9, 12 points. That's a team high. In fact, it's a game high as Minnesota comes back the other way. Edwards misses, but it's cleaned up underneath by Randall. Jackknife pass out on the perimeter to Reed. Shot clock down to 7 from Minnesota. DiVincenzo has it. Goes cross-court, right to left, over to Edwards. Deep three-ball. Grady contest. Didn't matter. Triple for Anthony Edwards.
Close enough to touch. If you're more than arm's length away, you're in trouble.
And Barnes with a pass to Pirtle, knocked away by Minnesota. Turnover Toronto, dunked by Randall. And just like that, the lead is back to 17.
Tough half for Scotty Barnes. 3 of 7, 6 points, and I have him for at least 2 turnovers.
Barnes holding the ball right now, gives it to Pirtle straight away. Fading toward the near side, now dribbling toward the far side. Hands off to Ochai, into the paint, kisses it off glass and got a friendly roll as it goes down for Ochai. Strong take.
The baby hook, one of the, I think, essential finishes that anybody needs in their offensive arsenal.
8 points for Ochai. Raptors trailed by 15. We're under a minute to go now in the first half. Driving near side was Anthony Edwards, and then a very errant pass as he tried with his left hand to get it all the way back up top to the perimeter to Julius Randle, and it goes over Randle's head and across center court. That's a backcourt violation and a turnover for Minnesota. They're 7th. The Raptors, though, with 12 turnovers in the first half, leading to 13 Minnesota points. Raptors and Timberwolves, Jonesy, now shooting an even 45%, and yet the Raptors are down 15. Why? Turnovers. They just turned it over again, but Anthony Edwards, in trying to track down the errant ball near center, slides out of bounds, so Toronto is actually still going to retain the ball.
You just have to be better with the ball. There's no other way to put it.
Toronto has also been outscored by 24 on the perimeter. Minnesota with 10 three balls, the Raptors with 2. Barnes on the logo at center. 35 seconds to play. Fires a pass into the near corner to Ochai for 3, and he knocks it down. And Abaji with the 3 has the Raptors back within 12. Ochai's got 11 in the first half.
Great job on the catch and shoot. Good shot prep by Ochai, and a good long pass on the money, on time, on target by Barnes.
Randall into the paint, turns out, fires to Reed. Naz Reid drives, goes at Pirtle, who takes the foul, and Naz Reid's going to go to the free throw line.
Minnesota getting dribble penetration, kick out, and more of it.
(54-42). Minnesota leading by 12. 19.4 seconds to go as the first free throw is up and in for Minnesota. The lead up to 13. Amit Mann coming up with the halftime show, as I'm sure he will take you around the rest of the league on a busy night in the NBA, plus more. Raptors on the second night of the back-to-back will have an off day tomorrow before getting set to host Denver, with Jamal Murray and the Nuggets coming to town on Monday. Second free throw good for Reed. Lead back to 14 as the Raptors will now have the last shot of the half. Barnes will bring it up for Toronto across center. He's picked up by Julius Randle. Randle pushes up on Scotty a little bit. Battle sets a screen. Scotty goes the other way, still with Randle in front of him. Battle tries to set another screen. Now on a switch, Scotty spins away from DiVincenzo and fires it to Battle, who had dropped to the tin and lays it in. And the heave at the buzzer for Minnesota, no good. And Toronto goes into the break down 12. Not bad, all things considered. And you look down, Jonesy, field goals, exactly the same. 19 field goals made, with the Raptors out shooting Minnesota. Toronto shooting 48%, and they're down by 12.
Three-point shooting, being outscored, as you pointed out earlier, by 18 on the perimeter and
21.
By 21 on the perimeter. I was looking at the free throws, and being outscored on the free throw line as well.
So it's 56-44, Toronto trailing by 12 at the break. We'll have the second half in a few minutes' time, but until then, Amit Mann will be taking over with our halftime show as you're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Monday nights are hockey nights. That's right. There's a new exclusive home for the NHL, and it's on Prime. All season long, Prime Monday Night Hockey is delivering unreal plays. That's hockey, baby! And the biggest goals. What a goal! Matthews, McDavid, Crosby, and the NHL's best are ready for Prime. So don't miss it. Prime Monday Night Hockey. It's on Monday. It's on Prime.
Hey there, it's your friends from Toyota. We see you eyeing that Tundra, already picturing yourself hauling so much firewood that your chainsaw's hiding behind the shed. It's time to stop dreaming about that new Toyota and start driving one. Lease a 2024 Tundra 4x4 Crew Max SR from $127 weekly for 40 months at 2.39% with $5,100 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Hello. Amit Mann here. I'll be with you for the next 13 minutes or so. The halftime show is brought to you by Honda. Up your game. Lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. So, as we stand, the Raptors are down 56-44 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They were celebrating their home opener, and you could definitely tell there was a difference in the energy between these two teams. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so go through the numbers. Gradey Dick, 12 points so far. Ochai Agbaji, 11. Both of them terrific first halves. Like the Raptors, they were laboring on offense for quite some time in this one, and at least those two, they were terrific. We'll get to those two a little bit more in just a moment. Anthony Edwards, 14 points. Dante DiVincenzo, 11. Threes were a problem for the Raptors, especially considering Minnesota. They were just hucking them up, and they got a few dudes who could definitely make them shots at a high level. Also, the Raptors, 12 turnovers. Not good. Bench points, they're being outscored 19-9. And I mentioned the threes. So Minnesota, they're 10 of 19 from three so far. The Raptors, 3 of 11. That is a huge discrepancy. It's hard to win games when you are being outscored that much by three. And that's just kind of how it goes. Now, the Raptors, we'll see how things go in the second half. But right now, I mean, I think they should be pretty happy that they're only down by 12 because this feels like it should be 20, 21, 22, something like that. But we will see how things go, and we'll continue breaking down the first half and look ahead to keys for the final 24, look around the NBA. When we come back, you are listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and sportsnet.ca.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick, dark mud splats, terracotta mountain roads, radiant sunsets, kaleidoscopic leaf carpets, and the boldest of adventures. Avoid autumn blues and visit your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Oh, Maya. Maya. She loves being cool. 21 degrees is her favorite number. God, she's the coolest, especially at night. So I raised the temp at 10 p.m. because she gets chilly when she sleeps. Maya loves using less energy, and I love Maya. We're basically besties.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. With smart controls and zero upfront costs. Visit EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com to learn more.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
The Nissan All-In Clear-Out event is on now, where you can lease or finance the 2024 Pathfinder S from 1.99% for 24 months. Plus, qualified Nissan owners may receive up to $500 in loyalty bonus. Go all in with the Nissan Pathfinder, featuring 7 drive and terrain modes to fully amp up the adventure. Add intelligent 4x4, and it won't take long before you realize you just leveled up. Conditions apply. See Nissan.ca for details.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Hello, welcome back to the Halftime Show. My name is Amit Mann. Thank you for tuning in. The Raptors, as we stand, down 56-44 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. A strong start from the Timberwolves, right? They're a team that's vying for a championship. They're in front of their home crowd. They did intros for every single player, which I was kind of just waiting, like, when is the game going to start? But they went through every single person, and they started very well. And the Raptors, boy, did they not. My goodness. Okay, so you would think there'd be some momentum coming off of that 76ers game. No, it wasn't perfect, but they hustled. They tried hard, right? They were in that game, and unfortunately, not so much. They start the game down on a 12-0 run from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and from there, it just got sloppier and sloppier. You know, a lot of just miscues, a lot of defensive miscommunications on on that end and also on offensively, just not being very hard on the ball. Like, you need to be able to, create offense, and you got to be tough. Offensive toughness is a thing that teams have to, get accustomed to if you want to win at the highest level, and the Raptors just didn't really get that going at all. Scotty Barnes and Davion Mitchell, they were checked out pretty early in the game, and you wonder why. Well, because both of them were kind of just not really showing what you need to get from your starting point guard and also a player of Scotty Barnes' caliber. But Ochai Agbaji and Gradey Dick, they played really well. Like, Gradey wasn't so good against 76ers. He had some ups and downs, and he just couldn't really find a flow. But in this game, like, Gradey, you look at some of his production, like, he's hitting his pull-up twos. He's hitting obviously his threes as well. He's coming off screens really hard. He's getting in the lane. He's creating some havoc there. He's making some smart kickouts. And then Ochai Agbaji, he might have been the best Raptor today, at least so far in this one. What he's offering is a lot of what Darko Rajakovic is hoping for, is that he's not looking for the threes necessarily. He wants him to be able to finish at the basket, to come off screens hard, to get into the paint and to finish at the rim. And the Raptors, they're not able to create a lot of paint pressure. At least at the moment, without IQ and RJ Barrett. And RJ, it'd be great to see him coming up in their next game. But as it stands right now, they need Ochai, they need Gradey, they need everyone to be able to get into the lane and to make things hard on their opponent. But, with the Raptors now going into the second half, I want to see them get back to their potential defensively. It was so many occasions now where they're making miscues on screens. Does everyone know our pick and roll coverage? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to limit? Who do we want shooting the ball? And, allowing open lanes towards the basket, straight line drives, and then just miscues. Oh, are we switching? Am I taking him or am I taking him? Like, then Dante Vincenzo, all of a sudden he's pulling up for a three. That was happening so much. And then if you give a good team too many chances, they're going to kill you. And Ant-Man in that second quarter, he started feeling his three-point shot. And I mentioned before that the three-point shot was a big factor in where the game is. And they should be pretty happy. The Raptors, considering where this game has gone so far, is that they're only down by 12 points. But the discrepancy so far in this from the three-point line, 10 of 19 for Minnie, 3 of 11 for the Raptors. That is a lot of points they're conceding, yet here they stand. They're not even that far off. They could find a way to rally in this one. They need Scotty Barnes to be better. I would like to see him posting up more. I think they got to be a bit more composed and find ways to get, easy offense. They're not able to create anything. Rudy Gobert is just sitting in the paint, and they don't have a big who can actually shoot threes. That's why you saw him, when Rudy is in the paint, Jakob Poeltl, he's circling around the rim, but he's not extending Rudy Gobert at all. And then Jonathan Mobo, he was in for a little while. I actually thought he should have been playing a lot more, but he wasn't, unfortunately. And even he was not actually extending Rudy Gobert too much. He's in the corner, and he's not going to be guarded. And so Rudy's in the paint, just sitting there, ho-hum, and he's blocking shots. So I want to see the Raptors get back to their defensive identity. I want to see them find some offense, find ways to get some clean looks, and we'll see how things go. Looking around the NBA before we get to commercial, the LA Clippers beat the Denver Nuggets 109-104 earlier. Got the Miami Heat. They're up by 9 points on the Charlotte Hornets around the midway point of the fourth quarter. Boston Celtics defeated the Detroit Pistons 118-114. Very close game, but we'll see where that ends up right now. It's pretty close to the end in that game. And then Cleveland Cavaliers 124-103 over the Washington Wizards. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, Shea going off. Chicago Bulls 59-39 so far in that. And we'll see where things net out for the Toronto Raptors, because I would like to see them at least make this game a bit more competitive, because it doesn't feel like it's very competitive at the moment. Eric Smith and Paul Jones got you. We'll talk to you after the game. You're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and sportsnet.ca.
Wednesdays on City TV.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, the basketball fan that's hanging out with us tonight for the Raptors game. It's time for you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto Raptors game this season, as well as tons of other sports. Every Toronto team is live here on TSI. Thank you for helping us create this amazing Toronto sports fan club where we can bring sports to the world and make a real world difference while we're doing it. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Let's go, Raptors. We the North. We the North. Stand up, baby. It's time to get loud, Canada. Cheer on those Raptors.
in a new Chevrolet Equinox RS.
There are millions of prizes, including a chance to win cash every minute in the app.
Cash doesn't make any noise, but it's awesome.
Get into the game with Monopoly Double Play at McDonald's.
While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game keys prizes at outset. Chances to win double play prizes based on time of code entry and draw prizes based on number of entries in each draw. See rules and app.
Need to send money in another currency? With Wise, you can send money internationally without hidden fees. From dollars to dong, pounds to pesos, euros to yen, you could save up to 3 times compared to major banks. Send money with Wise in more than 40 currencies without getting ripped off. See how much you could save. Download the Wise app today. Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Greg Carrasco from Oakville Infinity Nissan. If you're looking for a used car, you need to hear me out. Why, you may ask? Why should I listen to Carrasco? Well, because right now, if you finance any used car from us, you don't have to make a payment on approved credit, of course. Up to 90 days. No payments, 90 days. This is an incredible offer. Take a payment vacation. There's something happening here at OakvilleNissan.com.
It's the monster sale at Visions Electronics. Spooktacular savings on all your favorite electronics from all the top brands. And your lowest price is guaranteed for up to 60 days. TVs, home audio, appliances, laptops, car starters, and more. Plus no interest and no payments until 2026. The monster sale on now at Visions Electronics. Yeah, it's scary how much you're going to save. See all the deals at visions.ca.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you as the second half is underway. And Mike Conley brings it up across center for the Timberwolves. Dips behind a screen set by Rudy Gobert. Steps into a 3-ball. Missed it from the far wing. And the rebound to Davion Mitchell. And a Raptors opportunity early here to get this thing down to 10, maybe even single digits on a triple. Scotty Barnes under the 10. Couple of head and shoulder fakes on Rudy Gobert. Looked like he was out there glitching and finally went off glass and put it in the 10.
Well, Rudy Gobert will do that to you, but give Scotty credit for staying with it. And all of a sudden, Raptors down is really important. They're down 10, really important the first few minutes here of the second half.
In the first half, Jonesy, if you recall, they had it down to 8. And then gave up a 7-0 run. Minnesota pushed it up to 15 and then got it even higher. Randall comes back for the Timberwolves, gets the lead back to 12 on a bucket down low, kissed it off glass.
Had it down to 8 with a good look at a 3.
Yep.
Before that 7-0 run.
58-46. Gradey Dick, 3-ball straight away. Knocks it down. Gradey Dick with another triple, his third of the game. He's got 15 total points, that is. And the Raptors trail 58-49. It's into single digits. McDaniels stops in the paint, elevates for a short jumper. Gradey with the contest, and McDaniels came up short. He is scoreless in this game as Ochai drives on the far side, loses the handle, and dribbles it off his leg out of bounds. That was a chance right there to get it down to 7. 13 turnovers now for the Raptors as they get back defensively. Down 58-49. Mike Conley up top. McDaniels, 3-ball, good look, and it goes in. His first bucket of the game.
Grady helped, stunted momentarily. Gave McDaniels enough room for a catch and shoot.
61-49, Jakob Poeltl inside the arc out on the far side. Looking to give it up, and he does to Scotty Barnes. Barnes coming left to right, tried to turn into the paint, couldn't get by Randall. Now turns and fires a jump shot, contested, missed it. And the Raptors back defensively, trailing by 12.
It's a good look, though, for Scotty. Got to make those.
Randall has it toward that far elbow, now backing down toward the block, turns, fires, and it's going to be a foul on Scotty Barnes. Looked like two guys just kind of banging with each other, and they call Scotty on the foul.
That's how Randall plays. He's the kind of old school throwback 90s bully ball power forward.
61-49. 2 minutes, 20 seconds gone by here in the third quarter. Conley along the baseline, hands it off now to McDaniels, coming left to right. McDaniels goes back out on the perimeter to Edwards. Edwards to Randall, far wing triple. Poeltl jumped out, and the shot is missed. Barnes taps it out. to Gradey Dick to Mitchell. Streaking down the floor to a cutting Pirtle. Lays it up and in. Spry legs there from the big man. Toronto wanted the call as well. Didn't get it, but they cut the lead to 10.
Love the push by Davion Mitchell. Darko likes that. Get the ball out and go before the defense can get back.
Mitchell has 1 rebound, 3 assists, no points on 0 of 2, but Jonesy finding other ways to make an impact like he did right there, and certainly making an impact on D.
Yeah, some of his defensive stuff won't show.
Edwards trying to take advantage of the switch with Pirtle, but we've got, I believe, a defensive 3-second violation on the Raptors.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes standing in the lane knowing that Pirtle was out there on an island guarding Anthony Edwards.
So it'll be a technical free throw here for Minnesota. They'll get 1 and then the ball. As Anthony Edwards steps to the line, he's got a team-high 14 points, and it will stay at 14 points as he misses the free throw. Gradey Dick with the game high. He's got 15. Edwards, though, with 14 points, a couple of rebounds, and 2 assists. His Timberwolves leading the Raptors by 10, 61-51. As we tick under 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Conley to Randall down Main Street, and a reach-in foul. Is that going on Gradey? Yes, it is. It will be Grady's first foul of the game. And that's going to send Julius Randle to the free throw line as that foul came in on the gather on the move to the tin. So to the stripe will go Julius Randle. His first appearance at the stripe. We saw 99 free throws last night.
Yeah.
And thus far tonight, Toronto has only been to the line 6 times. And this will be attempts 12 and 13 for Minnesota. Randall knocks down the first one. Up to 12 points in the ballgame. Second one clean as well. He's got 13 and 6 points and rebounds. And the rebound total is second on the team to Rudy Gobert, 7. Minnesota leading by 12. Mitchell to Gradey Dick. Gradey trying to probe through the lane, turns, fires, contact, and a bucket. An and-one opportunity for Gradey as he takes the foul from Gobert, and a 3-point opportunity coming for the second-year forward.
Well, aggressive. Gradey really aggressive and doing a great job getting into the lane, staying under control, even when faced with duress, and knocking that shot down over Gobert.
Free throw good as well. And just like that, the Raptors again get it into single digits at 63-54.
Gradey 7 of 11, 3 of 6 from distance. Pretty impressive offensive outing.
Conley along the baseline to McDaniels, moving right to left into the lane just below the free throw line. Got the jumper to go over Gradey Dick. And the Raptors nearly got sloppy in the backcourt as Pirtle inbounded to Mitchell, but he still keeps the ball. Finds Gradey on the far side. Long looping one-hand floater as he came toward the baseline, got it to go. And Gradey is showing something this game, let alone this quarter.
Well, great floater. Tough shot, but he had to get it up and over Rudy Gobert.
Quickly back the other way. McDaniels gets it to go, and he has done all of his scoring in this quarter. He's got 7. Mitchell tried to Euro step through traffic, ran into Conley, blocked by McDaniels, out of bounds off Minnesota. Mitchell wanted a call, didn't get it, but the Raptors will keep the ball with 17 on the shot clock, trailing 67-56.
Raptors need some better interior defense on the penetration by Minnesota.
After their rough start, Jonesy, Toronto up to 50% from the floor. But again, trailing by 11, and now they just turned it over again for a 14th time. Edwards down the floor. Nice job there by Ochai. And now Edwards is doing air guns at both Gradey Dick and Ochai, pointing to 2 guys that couldn't stop him as Pirtle comes back, misses a floater, tapped out by Gobert. Minnesota's got the ball, leading by 13. Here comes McDaniel, splits defenders, floats it in, and again Minnesota beats 2 Toronto defenders to get a bucket and push their lead to 15.
Well, that's a classic case of just because they're back there doesn't mean they're ready to play or going to be able to stop you.
71-56 with 7:34 to go in the third quarter. Raptors down 15 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050wraps.com for your tickets today.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick, dark mud splats, terracotta mountain roads, radiant sunsets, kaleidoscopic leaf carpets, and the boldest of adventures. Avoid autumn blues and visit your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Hi, I'm Hugh Heron from Heathwood. What would you do with a little extra space in your home? At Williamsburg Green and Kitchener, all our homes include a fully finished lower level. And with our Spaces by Heathwood program, you can tailor it to your friends, family, or in-laws. A bright space with big windows, a private bedroom and bath, and a...
What's up, basketball fans? Once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us and making this awesome Toronto sports fan club what it is and keeping on getting better. Now it's the time for you to let us know, where in the world does the reach go? Where are you watching from? Let us know in the chat, city and state, city and province. Give us your flag, emoji, or your country, and let's see how far out our reach is here on Toronto Sports Insider throughout this big old globe we got here. Now let's get back to the basketball. Thank you for letting us know in the chat where you're watching from. It helps immensely because it helps our geographical data as well as the chat popping off and keeping on going, which the Raptors games need a little bit of help with that right now. So let's get back to the basketball. Cheers, everybody.
Contribute a ton to it, Jonesy, but certainly has been a part of the 14 turnovers for the Raptors, leading to 18 Minnesota points. And we got an 8-point differential in terms of points off turnovers and a 21-point differential in terms of three-point shooting. And that is, or those are, the two big differences in the game.
The turnovers, again, as we talked about with the Raptors. And then the three-point shooting. Doing a pretty good job holding their own on the glass, but it's about more than that right now.
Raptors come out of the timeout, and guess what?
Turn it over.
Mitchell gave it to Scotty Barnes, and Barnes unable to handle the pass. It didn't look like it was that difficult. Scotty just bobbled it, and it dribbled off his fingertips out of bounds onto the baseline, and now 15 turnovers and a chance for Minnesota to push the lead to 17 or 18. 18 would match their largest of the game. Again, they punch back after the Raptors look to be trying to get themselves back into this game early in the quarter. Edwards has it, guarded by Barnes, over to Julius Randle on the near side, backing down on the smaller Mitchell, pushes him off, and then takes a foul as the help came from Pirtle. Scotty Barnes looking at the official saying, what about that off arm from Randle trying to push and punch and clear space? But they're not buying it as the whistle goes against Toronto. Davion Mitchell called for the foul. That'll be his first, and it sends Randle to the free throw line.
You got to work early against Randle. Front him. Not let the ball get passed in there. Pressure the passer. And he doesn't look as reluctant a passer as he was in New York here in Minnesota. And again, maybe that's the Chris Finch influence, but I would still go at him with double teams and either force him to pass it, because I don't think he's a great passer. You get deflections and get the ball out of his hands.
And the free throw's good, pushing the lead to 17 at 73-56, one off their game high. Ochai over to Pirtle, drops it back to Ochai toward the near elbow, now turning into the paint. Tried to scoop it up over Gobert, and he felt that looming presence, missed the shot. Edwards, pull-up, triple, straight away from Minnesota, left that one short. Conley in traffic, tried to get it, couldn't. Tapped away by Gradey, into the hands of Ochai, head to Mitchell, cross-court, right to left to Gradey in the near corner to Scotty Barnes. Barnes, covered by McDaniels, finds Pirtle just below the near elbow. Pirtle to a cutting Gradey Dick. Shot clock down to 7. Gradey turns, fires, and the ball went halfway down before it popped out for Gradey Dick.
Thought the ball was moving there, and Scotty held it a little bit too long in the corner.
Scotty deflects the pass away from McDaniels, who was looking for Conley. Raptors try to press it onto the sideline, and it goes off Gradey Dick out of bounds, so Minnesota will keep it with 13 on the shot clock. Jamal Shedd's going to come into the ball game now, as will Jonathan Mobo. Davion Mitchell sits down, as does Scotty Barnes. Barnes has been pretty quiet tonight. 8 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. It's been Gradey Dick to do the damage tonight for Toronto with 20 points in the ball game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's now going to come in for Minnesota. And he's out there on the floor with McDaniels, Randall, Gobert, and Anthony Edwards, who launches a 3-ball right in front of his own bench from the far corner and knocks it down, his 4th triple of the game.
Raptors had a chance at the ball, knocked away, couldn't recover the 50-50 ball. And Minnesota turns it into a 3.
And that 3-ball has also turned it into a 20-point lead for the Timberwolves, as Minnesota is on an 11-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Raptors had it down to 9, but again, 9 plus 11 is 20, and there you have it, 72-56. Jamal Shedd driving on the near side, left it short, tried to scoop it up with the right hand. Pirtle tried to take it away from Minnesota in the backcourt, but couldn't do so, as Edwards gets it ahead to Randall, runs into Pirtle, then kisses it off glass, gets the bucket, and the lead sits at 22. Pirtle to Ochai. Ochai ahead to Mobo. Mobo across center, as this game has gotten away from Toronto here in the third. It's a 13-0 Minnesota run. Gradey Dick, far elbow, double team, passes out on the perimeter to Shedd. Shedd now bumped by McDaniels, and that'll be a foul on McDaniels.
Well, it's a classic back-to-back. First half, you do a good job, you hang in, and then for some reason, it's conventional wisdom, standard practice. Your legs get heavy in the second half on the second night, unless you're able to fight through it. That's when the roof falls in, and it looks like that's what's happening with Toronto right now.
78-56 with 5:10 to go in the third. Pirtle has it above the arc out on that wing. Picked up by Shedd. Shedd back to Pirtle, down Main Street. Running floater is good for Jakob Pirtle. 8.7 boards for the big man. Raptors with a lot of work to do, though, as they trail by 20. Minnesota creeping toward 50% from the floor. Raptors still going along, Jonesy, at 47%. But again, those turnovers, as we've talked about ad nauseum, not just tonight, but thus far this season. Edwards trying to work on Mobo. Crossed him up once, twice, 3 times. Step back, jumper, Edwards, air ball. Nice package, but no finish.
All sizzle, no steak. And as much as it looked good and you heard the oohs and ahs from the crowd, Mobo was still right in his kitchen and able to contest the shot.
78-58. Ochai on the near side. Edwards wouldn't let him get anywhere. Raptors pass it out. Up fake. Gradey. 3-ball. No good. And nobody underneath for the Raptors, secured by Edwards. Pushes ahead to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Running toward the far sideline. Whips the pass down low to Naz Reid, who lays it in. And the Raptors again fall down by 22.
Timeout Toronto, and looking to try and regroup. But again, transition defense. I talked about it earlier in the quarter that the Raptors needed to do a better job on the inside defending. That's what hurt them on that play.
4:15 to go in the third quarter. It's 80-58. Minnesota leading on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Craig likes it warm. Craig loves 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Craig doesn't understand Fahrenheit. But Craig does like to save money when he's at work. Craig also cares about his carbon footprint. He's so thoughtful, that Craig.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. For a limited time, sign up and get up to $1,000 in bill credits and apply for up to $3,000 in rebates. Learn more at EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Experience the new modern Mexicana menu at Mucho Burrito, like pineapple pork al pastor, tender pork, pineapple salsa, and al pastor sauce with a zesty kick. Get it as a taco trio for only $9.95. Or the bold, smoky flavor of our Guajillo grilled chicken in a burrito for only $11.75. Get them all in your choice of burrito bowl or taco, and save room for new churro fries, loaded nachos, and taquitos. The new menu at Mucho Burrito. Love what you eat and love Mucho. Prices may vary by location.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you as we continue in the third quarter. Minnesota leading 80-58, a 22-point advantage for Minnesota, as Toronto early in this quarter had it down to 9. But Minnesota punching back to take their largest lead of the game at 22. And Jonesy, Anthony Edwards has continued to play well and just continues to roll as this game goes on, up to 19 points now, including 4 of 9 from distance, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for the young star.
Well, he's the leader of this team. It is his team with the trade of Karl Anthony Towns, but he'll get support from Julius Randle, and you know, that might be a better match. At least Minnesota's helping that in terms of the inside-outside part of the game.
Raptors inbound from the baseline. Battle gives it to Shed. Shed picked up by Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Shed brings it across center. Toward the near side, now turns, fires to Fernando out on the perimeter. Is looking to give it to Battle, instead holds it, now hands it off to Ochai. Back to Fernando, down near the right block, bumped, misses the shot, but he's going to go to the stripe for 2. Foul on Julius Randle.
Nice job, nice offense there, good patience. Raptors doing a nice job on that sequence. Good movement, good patience. And a good job of presenting himself by Bruno Fernando.
First free throw goes down for the big man. Fernando, a rebound and a bucket in 5 minutes off the bench. 80-59 as Fernando dips, fires, and makes the second free throw as well. Anthony Edwards will bring it up for the Timberwolves with a 20-point lead. 3:50 to go here in the third quarter. DiVincenzo gives it back to Edwards, who now finds Naz Reid to a wide-open DiVincenzo over in the far corner. Up fake, puts it on the floor. Mobo bit, and as DiVincenzo got into the lane, he handed it off to Randle, who kisses it off glass, lays it in, and the lead is back at 22. 82-60, Jamal Shed out on the perimeter trying to work against Reid, finds Battle, far sideline. Triple is good for Jamison Battle.
Well, that's what he does, and did a really nice job of creating some space, shot ready, catch and shoot.
How about a perfect night for him so far? 3 of 3 for 9 points, but going back the other way, doing damage again. Julius Randle with the bucket, up to 19 points now, and the foul comes in, earning him a 3-point opportunity. Foul whistled against Fernando.
Did he look like he was even thinking about maybe passing that ball?
Well, he said a couple of minutes ago, I was listening to that broadcast out of Toronto, and that guy Jonesy said that I look to be facilitating more here in Minnesota than New York. Hold on a second, I got to show him something.
I mean, he's tough. I'll give him that. Like, it's not, you know, it's not like he's hanging on to the ball and stopping the ball without scoring. Most of the time when he stops it, that ball goes up, and he's a guy that can score it.
84-63 as Randle goes to the stripe. Now 21 points in the ball game, and it will stay at 21 as his free throw rolls off the rim, his first miss of the game. Raptors down the floor with Scotty Barnes. Over to Boucher, back to Barnes on the perimeter. Barnes was calling for a screen. It doesn't come. He goes over to Fernando. Fernando holding the ball, hands off to Shed. Shed on the far wing, steps back into a triple, missed it, back rim in traffic. Battle misses the tip. Fernando picks it up and puts it back in the tin.
Battle kept it alive there. If you can't get it yourself, at least get it back up on the rim, keep it alive, and you'll get maybe a third chance.
84-65. Naz Reid weaving through traffic, and that's going to be a goaltend on Fernando. Count the bucket for Naz Reid, the reigning sixth man of the year, now 10 points off the bench with a couple of rebounds, and Minnesota pushing their lead back to 21. 2:33 to go here in the third quarter. A late night flight tonight for Toronto, back to TO. Off day tomorrow before entertaining Denver on Monday.
Denver, who has started 0-2, they get beat today at home by 37 from the general, Norman Powell, as the Clippers get their first win of the season, 109-104.
I would hope at some point we get an opportunity to see that new arena in LA. The Intuit Dome.
See it live, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, at some point, maybe.
Well, hey, I've seen pictures. I'm talking live. I've seen you in pictures too. I'd rather deal with you live, Jonesy.
Facial recognition gets you into the arena. All kinds of little goodies.
Maybe I don't want to go then. Me and facial recognition don't mix based on our history at the border.
Well, that's how you buy tickets. That's how they identify you for age verification. So maybe Steve Ballmer's got it worked out just for you, Eric.
Jamal Shed with a 3-ball brings the Raptors within 18, but they got to get it going on this end, and maybe that will help us. Fernando just gobbled up Anthony Edwards. A big-time stuff for Fernando. Back the other way, Scotty Barnes took contact, missed the layup attempt as it was too strong off glass, rolled off the rim, and Toronto comes up empty. Had a chance to cut that thing down a little bit more, and now Minnesota will take a timeout with 1:52 to go in the third.
Got to convert on those if you're Toronto, if you have any hope of getting back into it. Get the easy ones and continue the stops.
86-68, Minnesota on top with, again, 1:52 to go in the third on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Mucho burrito, like pineapple pork al pastor, tender pork, pineapple salsa, and al pastor sauce with a zesty kick. Get it as a taco trio for only $9.95. Or the bold, smoky flavor of our guajillo grilled chicken in a burrito for only $11.
What's up, Raptors fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this Toronto Raptors basketball game. Come on, We the North, hit that like button down below. And if you're a fan of the other team too, hit the like button. It brings more basketball fans here into the chat to hang out with us and have a good time during this one. So let's get back to the basketball. Don't forget to share the link out as well in the commercial breaks. Get on over to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the social boards, however you do it, and send this link out, and let's get more fans here in the chat cheering on our Raptors. Let's go, baby. Hit that basketball and slam it home. Let's go, Raptors.
You're not going to get this one, but maybe reasoning, a little discussion. Maybe you get the next one if you're Scotty Barnes.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker will bring it across center for Minnesota, hands it off to Rudy Gobert. Fernando under Gobert's chin. Now it's Alexander Walker again out near center court on the logo. Gives it up to DiVincenzo. Turns, fires into a 3-ball from the far wing. No good. Pulled down by Boucher, who hands it to Barnes. Barnes again thought he was fouled as he barks out a few words at Curtis Blair. Whips it into the corner to battle 3-ball. Left it short. And nobody there for the Raptors to grab the rebound. DiVincenzo, far lane, across center. Now trying to weave through traffic. Instead passes cross court, left to right over to Edwards. Edwards back over to DiVincenzo. Breakdown defensively. He was left wide open, and the Raptors dodged that one. No Raptor within 10 feet of DiVincenzo. Barnes over to Boucher. Contested triple on the wing near side. No good. Fernando over the back of Gobert, and that's going to be a loose ball foul on the Raptor center. With 59.5 seconds to play in this third quarter, Fernando takes his first foul. Check that, second foul of the game, and we walk the length of the floor as we get set for a couple of free throws for Rudy Gobert. Jonesy, you mentioned that performance from Norm Powell. Franz Wagner with 29 points in a victory tonight for Orlando, or at least earlier today, as they beat Brooklyn 116-101. Charlotte loses by 5 against Atlanta Lonzo Ball had 34 in the loss, 38, 10, and 8 for Trae Young in the victory.
Atlanta 3-0.
Team that I didn't have a ton of high expectations for this year, but a nice start for them. And Cleveland, after the opening night victory over the Raptors, gets another win tonight. All 5 of their starters scoring in double figures as they beat the Pistons. Cade Cunningham with 33 in the loss. We'll give you some other scores a little bit later on as Gobert goes to the stripe, hits 1 of 2, and the lead is 87-68. Backdoor, Chris Boucher, and a nice find from Scotty Barnes. Minnesota caught napping. Boucher came in that backdoor, and nobody picked him up. Open dunk for Boucher has the Raptors down 17. Edwards, triple, missed that one. Rebound to Boucher. And Toronto's got a chance to get one off here before the end of the quarter. In fact, they've got to give up the ball. Shed driving far side. Bump, didn't matter. He still got the bucket. Didn't get the call, but he'll take the 2. It's down to 15. Little push here for the Raptors. Can they get one more stop? Maybe get the ball back as well. 3.5 second differential. Shot clock, game clock. 87-72. Now 14 seconds to go. Alexander Walker way above the arc out on that far wing. Hands off now to Edwards. At the logo at center, dips behind a Gobert screen on the far side, goes cross-court back to DiVincenzo running into the paint. Floater up and in with the shot clock expiring. Game clock at 2.5. Raptors get it in. Shed tried to get it ahead to Barnes, but there was no time. He's got to take that shot.
Either take the shot or lob it so that Scotty can tip it, but there wasn't much time left. I don't think the ball could have got there.
So the Raptors will head into the fourth quarter down by 17. They were trailing at the half by 12. A ton of work to be done in the final frame. 12 minutes remain. 89-72. Minnesota on top on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito. My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century. That's how Gary fans, and we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure with Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency and free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
I'm proud of my promotion.
Needs more shoes.
I earned it.
And business suits.
It is a big deal for our family.
Renovators.
I like the people I'll be working with.
Restaurants.
I still need a lot before I get started.
Car lease, hair salon, and luggage.
I know our kids are so proud of me.
Jewelry engraver.
It was my idea to put our company on the radio.
Promotion deserved. Be where anyone who needs you can meet you. Be on the radio. Your customers are already here.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the fourth quarter. All right, just in case anybody was ready to call me on it. Jonesy, I was looking at last night's Atlanta score. They didn't play today. My bad. Mea culpa, folks.
So I need to take a win away from them, and they're only 2-0.
Yeah, they're only 2-0. But I can tell you that in some of the action tonight, Washington lost to Cleveland by 19 as the Cavaliers put up 135 points, including 30 points from Donovan Mitchell. And both Garland and Allen each had 23 points as well. Fourth quarter starts with the Raptors getting called for an offensive foul as Fernando turns it over, and now Minnesota gets the ball quickly. They find Conley wide open on the near wing. Misses a wide open triple yet again. Nobody within 8-10 feet as the Raptors were broken down. Shed cross court right to left. The battle sets the feet. Misses the triple. Barnes with the offensive rebound in the paint. Go back up with it, Scotty. bumped, no call, late whistle, yes indeed, and Barnes will go to the line.
Well, that's one of those that I was talking about earlier, Eric. Scotty looking to get teammates involved, but you're standing 10 feet from the hoop.
That's why I said go.
In the paint with nobody on you. He's had a tough night, 4 of 10. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. They need more. I mean, it's not a terrible night, but when you're the leader without 4 rotation guys, without Quickly, without R.J. Barrett, with all these other guys out, you need to be the guy. You need to step forward.
And he just went to the free throw line for the first time in this game. Missed the first, hit the second, 1 of 2. Raptors down by 16, 89-73. 45 seconds into this fourth quarter, Shed just narrowly missed a steal. DiVincenzo gets it back, and then his pass attempt was knocked away and stolen by Fernando. Gradey Barnes across center. Going at DiVincenzo, turns around, passes out to Shed, into the paint, in the near corner to Battle. 3-ball from Battle, missed that one. And down low, Boucher couldn't come up with it. Naz Reid has it. DiVincenzo thought about the 3 far wing. Instead hands it to Reid, who whips it over to Conley. Conley now down into the paint. Now toward the right block, actually, to Gobert. Gobert trying to work on Fernando. Bring him to the left. Backing down. Now turns with the right hand. Missed badly off glass. Wanted a call, didn't get it. Battle has it for Toronto over to Shed. Shed on the far wing. Cross court to Boucher. Open look for Chris. No good. Boucher with the rebound. Off glass and in. And the Raptors have it down to 14.
Nice job by Scotty. Catching that ball. Keeping it over his head. And bounding right back up off the floor to put it down.
Gobert hands it to Alexander Walker, to Conley. Conley at the free throw line, lobs it up to a cutting Gobert on the alley-oop, the flush, and the finish.
That's about the only way Rudy scores. He's got 9 points tonight. I'd like to take a look at the shot chart and see if there was anything but a dunk.
Shed dips behind a screen set by Fernando, gives it back to Bruno, and a little push shot from 10 feet missed. Listen, I like the guy, and he works hard, but I don't want Bruno shooting a ton right now with other guys, other options on the floor. DiVincenzo misses the layup. Gobert mistimed his rebound. Raptors the other way with numbers. Scotty Barnes, left hand scoop in traffic, finishes, and the Raptors continue to punch. It's back again at 14. Barnes starting to find some life here in the fourth quarter. Up to 13 points, along with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and another Rudy Gobert alley-oop. Fernando's got to get there.
Well, the way they're running the defense, if Bruno has to help, then somebody's got to help him. But otherwise, if you're responsible for helping recover, get to it.
Barnes too strong off glass, cleaned up nicely by Bruno, puts it back in the tin. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker came down awkwardly in traffic. He might have stepped on Bruno's foot, and he's down in a heap and still down as Minnesota takes a timeout. And Alexander is on his back. Alexander Walker writhing in pain right now. I haven't seen him reach for a body part yet, but I believe he did step on Bruno's leg. I'm not sure what exactly happened. It seems like he's almost holding onto his abdomen at this point, or onto his the lower part of his stomach. I can't really tell, Jonesy, and we'll see if we can maybe clean this up and get word when we come back. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the Canadian, hurt right now and in a lot of pain on the floor for the Timberwolves as Minnesota leads 93-79 with exactly 9 minutes to go in the ballgame. You're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew. Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616. Got PC Optimum points?
Claire does, and shops the bonus redemption event at Shoppers Drug Mart to get more free stuff for her points.
If I redeem 200,000 points, I'll get $300 off. That's an extra $100 in value. I see a treat in my future.
Awesome, Claire. The bonus redemption event runs October 25th to 30th, in-store and online. Exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart. It's your chance to get more free stuff for your points. And free feels good. Restrictions apply.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 9 minutes exactly to go in this ball game. 93-79, Minnesota leading Toronto. And Jonesy, we had the benefit of the replay a few times, and as I said, I thought he might have stepped on Bruno Fernando's foot, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker was favoring his either his ribs or his abdomen, somewhere in the lower body, maybe even like side of his ribs. And as the replay shows us, it looks like Fernando caught him with an elbow on his right side. Couldn't tell if it was upper ribs, lower ribs, but either way, an inadvertent elbow from Fernando. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker has headed back towards the Minnesota locker room. DiVincenzo out there with Conley, Gobert, Randall, and McDaniels, 4/5 of the starting lineup. Edwards getting a breather right now as Randall launches a three, misses it, and a rebound to Chris Boucher. Toronto with a chance to get it down to 12, maybe 11. Shed lobbing one down low to Barnes, and it was picked off by DiVincenzo. Not a great pass from Shed. Gobert in the lane runs into Boucher, and they're going to call foul on Chris Boucher on the block as Gobert was trying to get to the rim. 93-79, 14-point advantage. Gobert will try to get a couple more right here.
Rudy putting the ball on the floor is generally a case for Chris Finch to hold his breath. And he's got that tippy toe free throw that he shoots from his chest like a grade schooler. But hey, you don't ask how, you just ask how many and see if you can get it down.
Now, this might be a much longer conversation, but what I don't understand is how, as much as he is challenged at times offensively, a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, who was just recently given a contract extension, I believe, of about $130 million over 3 years, and yet he couldn't get onto the floor for the French national team in the Olympics?
Well,
am I missing something?
He was the reason that Canada was able to.
Well, he just got 2 huge blocks in about 8 seconds, one on Carton and one on Battle, to wipe out 2 shots right under the tin for Toronto. To go back to your point,
he was the reason why the French team won the game, because they realized they couldn't play 4 against 5, and Canada was just targeting him and going at him.
Boucher 3-ball, speaking of Canada, missed that one. And the Raptors come up empty. Approaching 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Raptors down by 16, 95-79. DiVincenzo whips a pass, far corner. McDaniels into the paint, turns around, fires back to DiVincenzo, who buries the 3-ball. Little 2-man game right there with McDaniels and DiVincenzo.
Well, that's pretty good offense by Minnesota. Relocate, good spacing.
And Donovan Mitchell just missed a left-hand scoop on the left side. Tried to go up off that off foot, couldn't get it to go. DiVincenzo, bad miss on a triple, and a rebound comes out to Randall. Second chance opportunity for Minnesota. Randall went right, spins back left it short with a left hand, and now DJ Carton secures the rebound. But Toronto does get a stop as Carton gives it up to Mitchell on the near sideline to Scotty Barnes, sets the feet, rips the cords, and the triple is good. Raptors trail 98-82. 7:10 to go in the ball game. Raptors with 1 less field goal, but 6 fewer threes and 8 fewer free throws made. Not a recipe for success. As Edwards turns, fires, and wow, missed badly off glass. And down the other way comes Chris Boucher, who lays it in, and Toronto cuts it to 14.
Kind of hanging around. Nice job there to finish. Old school basketball, 3-on-1, ball in the middle. Both guys running the wings. Good choice by Davion Mitchell to get it to Chris Boucher for the finish.
A rare bad miss for Edwards allowed Toronto to get out running in a hurry, and they took advantage. in the open court. And 98-84 is the score now with 6:52 to go in the ball game. We'll step aside. You're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure. With Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency, I'm free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Whoop, Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Paul Jones, Eric Smith with you. 6:52 to go in the ballgame. 98-84. The Raptors trailing by 14 with, again, 6:52 to play. The Raptors have never had a lead in this ballgame. It's been as high as 22 for Minnesota. And Toronto will have to start putting together something right now if they're going to overcome and overtake the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Who, as I said, have been in control pretty much since the beginning, as Toronto has never had the lead. Bench scoring has been pretty good again tonight for the Raptors. They've been outscored by 30-29, but it took until the fourth quarter for Scotty Barnes to really come alive offensively, Jonesy, as Barnes now up to 16 points.
Yeah, the numbers look good, but they need more impact from him early on in the game. I thought Gradey did a nice job of trying to keep them in the game early.
Gradey Dick with 20 points. He's the top man for Toronto on 8 of 14. He's on the floor right now with Pirtle, Ochai, Barnes, and Mitchell, the starting five for Toronto, back out there with, again, 6:40 to go as DiVincenzo just missed a three ball. From the wing far side, Scotty Barnes with the rebound ahead to Mitchell. Davion Mitchell to Gradey Dick. Thought about the three, put it on the floor, beat McDaniels, got to the baseline, kicks back out on the perimeter to Scotty down Main Street, right at Rudy, and switches midair, left hand to right hand, lays it in. Great take by Scotty.
All right, if you're the Raptors now, 6 baskets, 6 minutes. Can you get some stops and not turn it over to get some decent looks at the basket?
17 turnovers in the game for Toronto. They have been better in that department in the second half. 3-ball Edwards, short, long rebound, tracked down by Mitchell, but he couldn't squeeze. Got to go with two hands, says Jonesy. Sidestep 3-ball DiVincenzo no good. And the Raptors get the rebound, a chance to get it to 9 or 10.
Quality possession needed.
Mitchell in the near corner to Ochai. Back on the wing near side to Mitchell. Shot clock at 10 as Scotty Barnes has it. Far side, dips behind Pirtle. And they're calling a moving screen on Yak. Come on. And Pirtle barking at the official right now.
Yeah, when Jakob Pirtle starts complaining, you know there's something going on. I did not think he was moving, or that was a call that was worthy of being made at this juncture in the game.
And now Darko Rajakovic getting in the ear of Curtis Blair, the official, as well. Mike Conley out on the far sideline. That possession for Toronto again, it could have given the Raptors a 9 or maybe 10-point deficit. Instead, a dunk from Randall pushes it to 14. 186 with 5:22 to go in the ballgame. Davion Mitchell out on the wing far side over to Barnes. Barnes on the near side now to Gradey. Lobs the pass to Ochai. Tried for the buddy ball pass to Pirtle in the paint. Picks up the loose ball out to Mitchell. Shot clock down to 6. To a cutting Ochai. Dunks it down right in the face of Rudy Gobert. Great ball movement.
Yes, it was. Great find by Davion Mitchell and a great basket cut by Abaji on the weak side.
Ochai now picks up Mike Conley, who brings it across center. Finds Anthony Edwards straight away on the switch, grabbed by Edwards. And a bump now on Gobert, and they're going to call an illegal screen on him. So 2 can play at that game as we go the other way on a Minnesota turnover. And it again will be an opportunity for the Raptors to get it down to 10, maybe 9. Gradey Dick driving, fouled by Edwards. And he was going up. That should be 2.
Nice job by Gradey again. I've said it before, but being aggressive tonight. And he seems to be playing this year with an aggressiveness and with better pace than he has in his rookie season last year.
First free throw good for Gradey. 21 points in the ball game. A couple of assists as well. Gradey 8 of 14 from the floor and now 2 of 2 at the stripe on the season. And again, it's only a couple of games in. Gradey has played extremely well and trying to improve on the 8.5 he put up last year in 60 games. Second free throw good. The Raptors have it down to 10 with 4:35 remaining. They're certainly in this thing, but as Jonesy noted a little while ago, a couple of minutes ago, all about the stops now. Can Toronto continue to bring the D? Conley over to Randall, and Randall cut off by Pirtle, and they're going to call the foul on Yak. It'll be a fresh 14 for Minnesota. 4th foul on Pirtle. And I believe that was the 3rd team foul. Edwards tried to go cross court to Conley, and it was narrowly picked off by Ochai. He got fingertips on it but couldn't squeeze. So it's off Abaji, out of bounds. It'll stay with Minnesota with 9 on the shot clock.
All right, keep up the defense. Keep the pressure up.
Conley into Gobert. Back to Conley. Drives down Main Street, and he's fouled. And Scotty Barnes is going to be whistled for a reach. He tried to rake in there as Conley turned the corner, and Scotty immediately yelling, all ball, all ball. And now Scotty asking to see if Darko wants to review. Scotty is convinced that he got all ball. But Rajakovic is not going to review.
Well, you're kind of maybe trying to save your challenge.
Tell you what, though.
At this point with 4 minutes, why not?
Especially if it means the difference between maybe getting the ball and trying to cut it to 7 or 8 instead of giving up 2 free throws.
Instead of being 10 with the ball, it's 12, right? And it's a 4-point swing.
And Conley does just that. Hits the 2 free throws to push the lead to 12. 4:14 to go as Barnes brings it across center. Scotty on the far side driving, went at Gobert, tried to pass out as he was met by Gobert, and ultimately turned it over. The errant pass picked off. Gobert gets up on a long outlet pass, and he lays it in. And Minnesota leads by 14. Nice find from Conley on about a 30-foot pass to Gobert. Davion Mitchell back just below the free throw line, too strong. Back rim, cleaned up by Jakob Poeltl. Second chance opportunity for Toronto. Poeltl out to Ochai, back to Poeltl, back to Ochai. 3-ball, far wing, short, and nobody underneath for Toronto. And this could do it potentially, Jonesy. 3.5 minutes to go, but Minnesota's got a chance to get the lead back to 16 or 17 right here.
Big stop here for Toronto if you're entertaining any hope of winning this thing.
Raptors still outscored by 18 on the perimeter, and they did get a stop as they break up an alley-oop attempt for Gobert. Down Main Street, Barnes turns, fires back out on the perimeter to Gradey Dick, who rips the cores on a 3-ball from the far sideline right in front of his own bench.
Better go down. Scotty had a layup that he gave up, and Gradey did a nice job of making it worthwhile.
104-93. And Gradey just got called for a reach here on the near side against Jaden McDaniels. Looked like McDaniels was getting set to try and turn the corner and maybe drive to the tin on Gradey. So Dick picks up the foul. That'll be his second of the ball game with 3:01 to play. Minnesota inbounds from the near side. Edwards to Conley in the near corner. Back to Edwards, cut off on the baseline. Davion Mitchell on his hip. Edwards now trying to work against Mitchell. And he has the ball stripped away by Mitchell. Great job by the Raptor guard, who now finds Ochai in the near corner. 3-ball, up and in. Back-to-back triples has Toronto closer than they've been in a long time. It's down to 8.
Well, this is the way you do it. Kind of hang around on the road and try to lean them out at the wire. A stop here would be huge for Toronto.
Edwards to Gobert, back to Edwards. To a cutting Randall, but it went behind him, and Minnesota turns it over with 2:24 to go.
Well, I'll give the Raptors credit. It may not have been pretty all night, but boy, they played hard.
Barnes has it on the near side, inside the arc, about 20 feet from the hoop. He's facing Edwards. Tries to take it to the baseline, cut off by Edwards, and now a reach and a bump on Edwards. They call the foul on Anthony Edwards, his third, with 2:12 to go. Raptors down 104-96. And Scotty Barnes right now is kind of leaned over and seems to be favoring the hand just a little bit. And we know he's had issues with the hand in the past. Hopefully no major problem right here.
Well, Raptors doing a good job looking after the ball. Only 7 turnovers. I say only in this second half.
Scotty has it right now on the far side.
No. They got that wrong. It bounced off a foot. They thought it was Scotty's foot. Danielle Scott, nice job coming in to help Curtis Blair.
Raptors will inbound from the far side right by their bench with 8 seconds on the shot clock. 2:06 remaining in the game. Darko Rajakovic calling out the play as Davion Mitchell gets it into Scotty. Thought about the 3, puts it on the floor, back to a cutting Pirtle, a little bit behind him, but he still should have squeezed that, and Pirtle butterfingered it and turned it over. 20 turnovers in the game, 26 points off turnovers, and a hugely inopportune time right there. Randall at the near elbow facing Davion Mitchell. Barnes comes over to help. He reaches in to take it, and he's whistled for a foul. He hates the call as the Raptors thought they had another stop.
Well, 3 guys converged on Randall that time, and I think that's what you have to do. Boy, I think the crux of the problem for Toronto is Scotty got the ball first, and then when Randall went to retrieve the ball, I think Toronto's challenging this. When the Raptors went to retrieve the ball, all the arms got tied up and Randall flailed and made it look like a foul. The only thing Darko can be hoping here is
Toronto will be challenged this foul call.
The only thing Toronto can be hoping here is the ball was knocked away and then there was contact and it can be overturned.
Why don't we keep it here, Jonesy?
Okay.
As the Raptors, we're getting a look at the replay again. And, well, now it just went away. And now it's back again. I think it's going to be a foul.
I think it's going to be a foul. The more I look at it, it looks like Scotty got a little bit of the wrist on the way into the ball. Not a lot, just a little bit. But that won't be enough to have the officials overturn things.
1:45 to play. Raptors down 104-96. They've never led in this game. This 8-point deficit, the closest that they've been in quite some time, as they have been playing well here for the last few minutes in this fourth quarter, trying to chase down Minnesota before the end. Julius Randle, I believe, is going to get a couple of free throws. We'll make it official in a few moments. But he'll have a chance to push the lead back into double figures as we break free from the timeout. I don't know if we got the official word yet from Curtis Blair, but I believe the foul was upheld. Trying to read body language and positioning on the court. And yes, indeed, Julius Randle is going to step to the free throw line, so it still hasn't been put up on our board yet on the official scores, but the replay unsuccessful, and 2 free throws for Julius Randle. He's 4 of 5 at the stripe in this ball game. Dips, fires on the first one. It's clean. Give him a team-high 24 points and a 9-point lead for Minnesota. Gradey Dick, top scorer overall with 25. Randle could match that right here with his second free throw. It's up, and it bounces out, but Gobert comes over the back of Jakob Poeltl to secure the rebound. Mike Conley, wide open triple, too strong, back rim. Gobert tapped it. Davion Mitchell couldn't squeeze. Minnesota has it. Conley over to Randle. 90 seconds to go. Raptors could not come up with a couple of loose balls. Minnesota with a chance to walk away with more, but they turn it over as Edwards lost it, and Gradey Dick dove to the floor to secure the ball. It nets a dunk for Scotty Barnes, who again comes up favoring his hand after the dunk. I called it a couple of minutes ago. Something's going on with Scotty and that right hand. That is not good news.
No, it's the same one that he had the surgery on.
105-98, open three-ball far corner. Edwards hits it, and that could do it potentially for Toronto. The lead goes back to 10. They had it at 7. Barnes three-ball near wing, short. Tracks down his own miss. Drive to the 10, blocked by Gobert. 43 seconds to go. Randall to Edwards. Dunks it down emphatically and pushes the lead to 12 with 50 seconds remaining.
Well, that'll do it. Toronto right there before that sequence. And that'll do it for Minnesota.
And again, Scotty Barnes is bent over with his hand kind of between his legs, between his knees, holding on to that right hand. Anthony Edwards has eclipsed 7,000 career points already, with his Timberwolves leading 110-98. It looks like Minnesota's going to win their home opener. Gradey Dick air ball on a 3-ball, tracked down by Pirtle, out to Ochai in the near corner, who buries a 3, and that's at least a late good sign. A third triple for Ochai.
Yeah, doing a nice job shooting the 3 tonight. 8 of 12 overall.
19 points in the ball game for Ochai Agbaji. Raptors trailing by 9 with 27 seconds to play. And now Davion Mitchell takes a foul about 40-plus feet from the hoop. And 25.1 seconds to play. It will send Minnesota to the free throw line, and this game is going to send the Raptors below 500 at 1-2.
Well, I'm encouraged at least by the effort. Encouraged by the fourth quarter, where Toronto did a nice job outscoring Minnesota, but this game got away from them early on.
111-101. Conley hit the first free throw. Second one up and in as well. 112-101. 11-point advantage for the Timberwolves. Scotty Barnes across center. Gets into the paint. Weaves through traffic. Tried to kiss it off glass. Bumped. Knocked to the ground. No call. Missed the shot. Minnesota advances across center, and they will just hold on to the ball and let the clock run out. The Minnesota Timberwolves will improve to 2-1. The Raptors will drop to 1-2 as the Raptors lose on the second night of the back-to-back. Off day tomorrow before Denver comes to Scotiabank Arena on Monday night. And the final score again, 112-101. Timberwolves with the victory.
I'm impressed by the effort. I'm impressed by the fight. I'm not impressed with the 20 turnovers again tonight. And I would have loved to have seen Toronto a little bit more aggressive, particularly Scotty Barnes early on. That said, they were in this game. They made Minnesota work for it. The score, a pretty fair measure, I think, of the way the game went. Minnesota had control of it, but Toronto never let go of the rope. They did a good job of hanging in. See if they can come home and catch a Denver team that's looking to find itself right now with some new people, new faces. Toronto coming home. Let's see if they can get back in the winning column.
We'll come back with the final stats and get set to wrap things up before we hand it off to post-game coverage. Raptors lose 112-101 on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The National Basketball Association on SiriusXM. For a full list of games
on Sirius 103, XM 215, and Internet 884. Thunder on Internet 900. 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Toronto Raptors. Timberwolves on Sirius 108, XM 216, and Internet 897. Raptors on Internet 907.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio. SiriusXM 86 and the SXM app.
Injuries devastate the careers of pro athletes, but for some, they get to play the game they love for many years. But for one former major leaguer, not even a work stoppage that resulted in the longest ever in baseball history could stop this man. Could you imagine someone playing 162 games a year? What about for 16 straight seasons? Well, for an individual named the Iron Man, it was no problem. 8 Silver Slugger Awards, American League Rookie of the Year, 2 Gold Glove Awards, a 19-time All-Star, 2-time League MVP, and most importantly, a World Series champion 83. But what set Cal Ripken Jr. apart from other major leaguers was his attitude, perseverance, and durability. Lou Gehrig's record of 2,130 games played in a row was supposed to stand for decades, but Ripken defied the odds and did something unthinkable. 2,632 straight games for him over 16-plus seasons. Illness, fatigue, and the traveling schedule of a pro athlete didn't matter for Cal Ripken Jr. He could do it all, and he was part of baseball history every time he took the field. His teammates, coaches, friends, family, they all knew he was determined to play every day until he was satisfied with his performance. Baseball is a game of frustration and failure in many ways. As a hitter, you fail 7 out of 10 times, so you have to deal with failure quite a bit, and that's one of the keys to having long-term success, he said. For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Pate.
MLB Network Radio is your home for 24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM, Channel 89.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Saturday, October the 26th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, it's Game 2 of the World Series starting at 8:08 p.m. with the LA Dodgers taking on the New York Yankees. Dodgers on Sirius 210, XM 177, and Internet 853. Yankees on Sirius 208, XM 175, and Internet 858. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 80. The Dodgers Spanish feed is on Sirius 211, XM 178, and Internet 871. Yankees Spanish feed on Sirius 209, XM 176, and Internet 870. In MLS at 11 p.m., LA Galaxy take on the Colorado Rapids on Sirius